There you go. That's 100% correct right there.
Man, hey, I heard you're getting some snow this week, bud.
Yeah, we're supposed to be getting like 6 inches of some nonsense, man. So we'll
You get a
see.
little you're getting a little taste. You're getting a little taste of Indiana.
And I don't want none of it. So whatever
Well,
taste you just said, I don't want it. And here's the
my
funny part. I'm from Connecticut.
mom,
I know everything about snow. That's why I don't want none of it.
well, my mom didn't like that comment about my dad. Sorry, mom. Love you.
All right, that was funny. That was funny.
I can hear it in the voice she said it, and I know exactly what face she's making when she said it.
And here's the funny part. As grown as we are, we still straighten up when our parents say something. Ain't that something?
Absolutely. I'm not trying to get hit with a wooden spoon tonight. I'm trying to behave myself.
Hey, my mom doesn't need violence to get my attention now, which is the sad part. She got stories after stories that she can go, boy, remember? I go, Mom, we don't got to go there. I'm sorry.
Oh,
You know,
she takes the embarrassment route.
to a whole nother level. Whole nother level. If my mom ever did a podcast about me growing up as a young boy, y'all be writing books about it.
I
It's
think your Marine stories probably make a good podcast too.
no, that some of them stories I'll have to change the names because I think some of these things has no statute of limitation on it. So we
What, what
so
they say? What they say on those things? Names have been changed to protect the innocent.
exactly. If woke was as big as it is down back then, the whole Marine Corps debt in Paris will be ruined. That's how bad it is. Anyway, Chris, what you got, man? Let's get this party started. What you want to talk about first?
Well, let's do some updates on the story at hand, which we all know everyone's following closely. Oh, should he be in jail? Ooh, you caught me. Hey, you trying to throw me off a little bit today, Coach D? You
No, I'm just
surprising me
asking
with
the
the
question. I'm asking the question that everybody wants to know because, like I said, you made some interesting points that I had to think about. Okay, a lot of people said he was a good coach. Even in the chats, our last podcast, they were saying he's a good coach. So it's hard for some people to separate what they personally want versus what's actually happening. Just like
right.
if you have an abusive dad, it's saying that, or abusive mom, right? You still love them, you know what I'm saying? Because they're your parents. Now they're abusive, but you still love them. I think that's what's happening with this Chris guy, is that a lot of people still love this guy because nobody was saying nothing. You would think half of Indiana would come out and go, Chris ain't shit, right? But that wasn't the case. So I didn't know how to take it. And then you were giving me information. I'll go, they're not condemning this guy like you would think they would outright. They're going, no, he's a great coach. We're not let
Yeah,
it
it's
all come
all.
out, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, well, shit, I don't know how to take it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all behind his back. It's all murmurs because more than half of Indiana doesn't like this guy.
Okay.
But it's all if you're not in the wrestling community and you don't like you're not living in the wrestling community, if you will, outside you wouldn't know. Even if you're just like a parent, you wouldn't actually know.
Yeah.
You have to like be in, know the coaches, know the organizations, know everybody that's in the know, and then you hear the real stories and the real opinions, right? That most people don't get, right? And
Exactly.
that's where even though I'm a parent most of the time, right? I'm still a ref. I still coach. I still know people, right? I'm in the background, so I know what everyone actually thinks.
Yeah.
Just lucky that most of the time I'm a decent enough human being. I don't just broadcast it. Let's put it that way.
Well, like I said, I'm on the outside looking in, so I have no way of knowing. I mean, I do now because you've cued me into a lot of stuff. But before that, I only know what we saw on social media, and that's the point I was making when I was saying, black versus white. Everybody wants to clickbait. It's so easy to get your phone and try to build your own name with your phone. Go, hey, I saw everything, blah 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 blah. It's so easy to twist the narrative. By the time you get to the story, the narrative's already been written. Now you're a bad guy until you become a good guy. Then after you become a good guy, who was talking about it? Like I said, talking about Marcus Freeman. When it first came out, everybody had something to say about him and assault before the truth came out. Then once the truth came out, where was that same energy? Luckily enough, we believe in who the guy is, and we're not gonna let that thing just slide. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm not. So
it kind of reminds me of like being in the military, right?
Yeah.
If no one was talking to you, you knew you were doing all right. Because the only time you ever got talked to is when you showed your ass.
Yeah.
Only time anyone ever, you always got told when you were screwed up. But how often did you hear, good job?
Never,
right? Maybe at an award ceremony after doing something for 3 years, like they're like, oh, cumulative, good job, buddy. See you at your next command. Bye now. Like you got told good job on your way out. That was basically it, right?
We ain't get that. I said you processing out. Hurry up and get up on to the next thing. Like I said, that's true, But for us in the Marine Corps, you did something wrong. Everybody knew immediately. They want you to suffer immediately. You know what I'm saying?
And I think the modern media does the same thing.
Well, but like I said, but not if you're clickbaiting, because the truth didn't come out. Marcus had to go. Like I said before, Marcus had to do a press conference, at Notre Dame to discuss how poorly he was treated before the truth came out. You know what I'm saying? How he was treated, how his family was treated, how they're in the spotlight for something they didn't even do, right? So he had to say something just to get people on the right page. This is not me. I didn't do this. The fact that a man who lived his life in the right way has to say this is what makes it a crime. You know what I'm saying? That he has to plead for his own innocence. Nobody wants that as a man.
And shit, dude, he has enough stuff to worry about.
Yeah, imagine if this came out and he had a bad football season. He might have been found guilty.
Nah, I mean, it depends, but not. I would say it like a different school, maybe.
Yeah.
Notre Dame's different. Like it's not the same way. Like even Brian Kelly, the last coach we had 2 losing seasons.
Okay.
And they still didn't get losing.
Well, like I said, I'm not really that big into football, so I wasn't coming at it as, a football fan, even though I saw how much the fans love this guy. I read the chats because, I'm looking for, rebuttals, you know what I'm saying? So I can talk crap, but everybody loved him, man. He was lucky. He was lucky that everybody loved him. Because I've seen situations where they bring out somebody's past. What if he had a checkered past, but he was a good guy in this scenario? But he had a checkered past. They would have brought out his checkered past. Just like we did with Chris. We brought out his criminal record immediately as soon as we found it. Well, not us. Another podcast did, but, still.
Since you're not big into football, I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Notre Dame's what? Hold on, I got to answer the chat. They're giving me.
What are they asking? Hold on.
He wants me to enlighten him, but it's something I can't. I have been instructed not to put out in the public, but everyone will find out very, very soon. Let's put it that way.
Okay, well,
I can't say what it is. I can't say what it is. Can't say what it's going to be. Can't say when.
All right, give chat, give Chris the business. He over there sitting on some information, acting like he king shit, but now you don't want to tell nobody nothing. But I can't. Hey,
I can't.
I
I
can't blame
can't.
her. No, I'm effing with Chris.
The only reason I said something was because he's thinking nothing's going to happen. But it's just like, based on what I know, and based on what I know is coming at some point in the future, I know something's going to happen.
Well,
Let's put it
good.
that way.
I mean, I do hope he gets what he deserves, right? Like I said, so I hope something is coming. But I get what they're saying. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times guys go unpunished because it's a personal. It was a personal scenario. It was a civil scenario. You know, because it was a civil scenario, we think nothing's gonna happen to him. And he was a popular guy. The school seemed to like him. The school didn't say anything about him. You just told me recently he finally got suspended or whatever the hell he got. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, he's suspended.
yeah, he got suspended finally. But they didn't make a statement. They just did it low key. He's got
Well,
suspended.
that school. That's okay. So that school still has said nothing publicly, which is freaking crazy to me. One and two, when they had their school board meeting, they straight up said it's not going to be on the docket, and we're not going to take any public comments. You're not even allowed to talk about it at the
Oh,
meeting.
oh, really?
So, like, you're not going to let any of the parents voice their concerns at the board meeting, on top of making no public statement whatsoever. And then on top of it, you didn't even suspend him. The IHSA had to suspend him,
Yeah. That
which is crazy.
that in itself should have been why that board meeting should have been a riot. That board meeting should have been a riot because of that very thing.
Yeah, just like the chat said, you heard about the story about Christian Carroll at World Who's Number One. I was like, I've heard it, but I mean, if he wants to enlighten the chat for it, because I personally don't want to say it because I don't know if Christian Carroll wants it to be said. But if the chat says it, the chat says it. I can't control what the chat does.
Okay, so what?
You know what
Okay,
I'm
I
saying?
guess I gotta look at what the chat is saying. All right, we got some lag going on, people. So if you see a little bit of lag in the any buffering, we got some buffering going on. So we excuse that. I don't know where that's coming from.
I'm not freezing over here.
Yeah, we're doing good on our end. All my
It's back.
numbers are good. I don't know where the buffering is coming from. So we
back.
apologize
We're good.
ahead of time. We don't know where it's coming from, but a lot of buffering is going on.
It's probably kick. It's back though. It's not buffering, so we're good.
Okay. So yeah, so what were you saying?
It's crazy to me that the school basically did nothing
Yeah.
at all. Like
Well,
the IHSA had to do it. Other people had to get involved, and I don't understand. I don't understand why.
And that was my main question because we know how quick schools are to get rid of you if any allegations come out. Just for transparency. They go, hey, look, we gotta get rid of you because we can't have this stain on our school, blah blah blah. But he was allowed to run recluse according to what we've been seeing, and nobody said anything. So,
well, yeah, that and like there's teachers literally looking. Damn.
what happened?
Look at what the chat said. Look at what the chat said. Like, I already heard this story, but you know what I'm saying?
Oh wow, okay. so it's about Nick Feldman.
If you don't know who Nick Feldman is, Nick Feldman wrestles for Ohio State.
Okay.
And honestly, this is, you guys can write this down for when I do my predictions for national champions in March. It's legitimate. You could see Nick Feldman versus Christian Carroll for a national championship in the NCAAs this year.
Okay.
That's how good Nick Feldman.
Okay.
So that's who he's talking about.
Okay. So what caused the choke out? Choke. Hey. Two things is when a man does it, that means you really had to piss off another man. Slapping a man is like, if a man slaps you, that means he trying not to kill you. He wants to shoot you, to slap you, and to choke you. When you choke another man, that means he done something so foul. The first thing I have to do is take the win from you. That's hey. I'm dying to hear that story now.
Well, what's crazy is Fleeger was his coach at the time. And was warming up.
Okay, I got you.
Like who chokes their own wrestler out at one of the biggest events in high school wrestling in warm-ups? You know, like what? You know what I'm saying? It's just a little peek into the mindset of this guy. You know what I'm saying?
And I've never seen a guy do so much stuff in public. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. We're not that public. You know what I'm saying? We don't want anybody, especially with camera phones today. We don't want nobody taking a picture of me doing anything. But apparently,
well, and it's just like
he's comfortable with that.
Well, I mean, you know, during the COVID year, you know, I didn't know anything about this guy when I was living in Virginia, obviously, right?
Yeah.
But Christian Carroll, his dad, Fleeger, and my son Mateo went to GFC in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina during the COVID year.
Okay.
When it was in South Carolina, because Michigan wasn't letting anybody do tournaments and stuff, right?
Gotcha.
So he brings him down there. I drive down from Virginia Beach to watch the tournament for the weekend or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I literally sat at the hotel bar and had drinks with Chris the night before.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, like I didn't know the guy from Adam, right? He was just another dude. I knew he was a good wrestling coach, right? My son was training with him and with Brad Harper 2 nights a week at each one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
My son goes like 6-2 at GFC. And then Fleeger tells him to find his old ride home. He's not coming back with him because he didn't wrestle good enough.
Wow.
So I had to get my son a ride home with the one other teammate he had that came down there. Isn't that? And that's when I cut ties and pretended he no longer existed on planet Earth to me.
Yeah. That would have been, everybody would have known about Chris after that.
That's my personal story, right?
Yeah.
And I just had no avenue in which to pursue it at the time, right?
Yeah. And that's I mean, it's still fucked up, but that's mild compared to, you know, some of these stories we know behind the scenes now. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
he was just getting warmed up with you. You know. And like I said, just imagine the amount of dirt the school has that they're shoving under the rug. Cause look at the dirt we got now that we just learned about now, that we've been having since we've been running this story. Look how much dirt that came out from random people who were just telling us their story. Imagine what the school has.
I mean, just look at the chat right now.
Okay, hold on.
Tried to break a kid's arm at his club when he came to visit to prove a point. Was #1 kid in the country. I'm assuming he's talking about Jesse Mendez.
Yeah.
Who's an NCAA national champion. Currently the defending NCAA national champion.
Okay, those A fight fans, just so you understand, the chat,
crazy?
Everybody we're talking about is from Indiana. So this is their backyard. That's why, you know, I'm loving the fact that Chris is doing this because it's his backyard. You know that old song before you say whatever, clip your own backyard, right? This is his backyard. The kids and everybody in the chat is talking about their personal experiences with Chris. So we're not throwing anything out there that they can't clarify with their own eyes. They were there for a lot of the bullshit we're talking about now. So I'm the guy looking at it from the outside in, trying to paint my own picture of why this guy is the scumbag that he is. Everybody else has personal experience to tell you why he's the scumbag that he is. That's the difference in this story.
I can guarantee you every college program knows this guy, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
I've heard that as well. My son Russell's in college. I've talked to some of the coaches as I've been researching this, and that is I get that feeling from what these college coaches are telling me. They all know him, and they all don't have good things to say about him.
Yeah.
So that's a fact.
And this and also this is the era that we're in. Normally, like I said, when you mess with somebody's child, a dad tries to kill you. A dad tries to, I can't say kill, unalive you. This is a podcast. A dad tries to unalive you. You come at their kid. You know what I'm saying? We're in this. Everybody got a cell phone thing now where you got to watch what you say, watch what you do. Before, somebody brought a bat to school and it was a real problem.
Let's put it this way: a dad will do the proportionate response required for what you did to his kid.
Yeah, easy. And like I said, also back in the day, dads were a lot more physical labor dads. They got hands made out of brick. You know what I'm saying? They hit you, they kill you because every job they have is labor. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have a guy working at IBM coming at you. You had a guy who was building engine blocks coming at you. You know what I'm saying? It was a whole different story back then.
With their big ass knuckles and sausage fingers.
Exactly. Been raised on steak and potatoes. You know what I'm saying?
The chat's right. Fleeger absolutely dogs Indiana wrestling all the time. He has no fucking business being here. Like, Indiana's on the come up.
Yeah.
We got guys performing at. Indiana had the biggest representation at the Olympics last Olympics. Like, who are you to shit on us? We had 5 wrestlers from Indiana in the Olympics last year. Who are you talking to?
But we now know he had nothing. He didn't care about Indiana. Indiana was a lick. He was a lick. He was trying to get his little money up in Indiana. He didn't give 2 shits about Indiana.
I get it, but if you think Indiana's garbage wrestling, then why the hell are you here?
Because he didn't care.
Because he can't coach in Pennsylvania. That's right. I forgot about that.
Okay,
you can't even go home because you're a fucking bum like that.
But it also goes back to once again. I mean, he pulled the wool over everybody's eyes because they were winning. Little Johnny won on the mat. Chris must be great. You know what I'm saying? That was the problem. If they were losing, Chris would have been gone.
Well, that's any coach, even if they're not bad people.
That's what like I said, I'm the guy. I'm the guy from the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it makes me mad because Indiana is historically known as a basketball state.
Oh, really?
Like, the term March Madness they use in NCAAs comes from the Indiana High School State Basketball Tournament that used to be called March Madness when it was single class. Cutting down the nets when you win a championship. Cutting down the nets when you win the national championship is because in 1936, NC State won the national championship and had 4 starters from the state of Indiana. And in Indiana, when you won the high school state championship, you cut the nets down off the hoop. Like, Indiana is like the quintessential basketball state in the country. and we have still managed to make wrestling absolutely flourish here. The amount of work you have to put in a basketball state to make a good wrestling state is crazy work.
Okay.
And for him just to shit on it constantly pisses me off. And to give us a bad name, fuck that.
Okay, fight fans. You could have put a gun to my head or says, if I can get this right, you can win $1 million. If you would have asked me, is Indiana a basketball state, I would have cussed. I would have gone, fuck no. Now, according to Chris, they are. How toe up is that?
That's literally what the state's known for is basketball. Basketball and corn.
Okay, I will lose that trivial question every time.
Well, like I said, I'm a born and raised Hoosier. I actually played basketball growing up before I started wrestling. So,
okay, Chris is getting back to lying. So everything I said in the beginning, disregard. I was trying to give Chris some credit, but then this bitch just said he played basketball. Chris is 5'2". Chris is 5'2". Talk about playing basketball.
I gotta explain it. My dad was a state championship basketball coach. So, from the time I could walk until 8th grade, I played basketball.
Okay, kids, when you understand,
then I realized I was 5'6", and I started wrestling. Okay.
When you understand how much your dad loves you, when he tells a 5'2" kid, "Yeah, you can play basketball," that means he cares about your personal well-being a little bit less than you would think. My dad would have been like, if you don't get out my face being 5'2" and think you're going to play basketball, you better go do something else like play golf or something.
Look, to be fair, I played in the Catholic League, all right? So we were all a bunch of 5'3" white kids, all right? So
okay. I take that back. That may make a little bit more sense. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Then I went to public high school and was like, a little personal history. How I got into wrestling is actually kind of funny. I was playing freshman football.
Okay.
Well, the head coach of the freshman football team was the head coach of the wrestling team.
Oh.
And my freshman year, I was like 5'3", $115. So I wasn't very big. I was playing like wide receiver and like free safety or something because I was a short little guy, right? And he goes, Vargo, because he knew I've been doing jiu-jitsu for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, and he goes, "You wrestling this year?" And I'm like, "No, I'm going to play basketball." And I remember because Coach Hartman goes, "Vargo, you're 5'3" and white. You are not playing basketball. Come wrestle."
Yep.
So I thought about it for a couple weeks. I went home and I was like, "Hey, Dad, I'm not going to play basketball anymore. I'm going to join the wrestling team." And you know what? To my dad's credit, he was like, "Okay." And then both his sons ended up being wrestlers, even though he was a basketball guy his entire life. So he had to swallow a lot of pride to just show up to our events and support us and be like, "You know what? My kids are wrestlers and not basketball players." I'll give him a lot of credit for that, you know?
I would say the same shit. I would go, no, you're 5'3" and white. Get the fuck out my face. I would have said the same shit. But at least you did it.
Yeah, at least I listened, right?
Yeah. And now look where you're at. We could have this could have been a bullshit basketball podcast.
Oh, never. How can I talk about basketball and the NBA so bad?
Because everything I did was involved around violence, right? If I played basketball, you was getting the elbow. Period, plain and simple. So I didn't play basketball. If it was violent, I played it.
Actually, you know what's funny? Besides wrestling in high school, I played football and rugby.
I did Kempo, wrestling, and lift weights, track and field. That was me. All individual sports. Because if I won and the rest of the team lost, I still won.
Let me guess. Track and field, you were in the infield.
No.
Let me guess.
I even ran cross country. How about that?
You ran cross country what, like a tank?
No,
Slow but
cross
steady?
country long distance.
That's what I'm saying. Did you run it like a tank, slow and steady?
No, back then I was know how you were short, I was skinny.
Okay,
I
fair
was
enough, fair enough.
I was bony.
Yeah, my mom never lets me live it down. She's like, "Who took you everywhere?" I'm like, "You, mom. You took us everywhere."
Oh, I'm
We had
sorry.
a
Hey.
we had a
Now,
conversion
hey,
van, and my mom drove me and my brother to all of our freestyle and Greco tournaments all over the state, all spring and summer long.
hi, Chris's mom. I'm sorry. I did not know you were online. I will stop talking bad about your son while you're on the podcast. I apologize. I got to mind my manners.
You don't have to. She says the same stuff.
Oh, we're good. We're on the same page. So, Mom, I can't wait to
She's
meet
very
you so
pleased with
you
that.
can tell me all the stuff that I don't know. I know plenty, but I want you to tell me more so I have more to talk about when it comes to your son.
Old boy said you were a hurdler.
Close high jump. I did that too.
I did pole vault.
I can't see that at all, Chris.
What do you mean? I was 135 pounds in a 1,200 pound club. Like that's perfect for a pole vaulter.
Well, you also need muscles too.
I was in a 1,200 pound club.
Oh no, you did. You're right. You didn't know. You're right. You need no muscles.
No, that's what I'm saying. I had them. I was in the 1,200 pound club.
Oh really?
Yeah, I was benching 100 pounds of my body weight my senior year.
Okay. Well, no, that's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good. Well, I guess I see. I guess
Anyways,
I see where the shit talking comes from. It makes sense now.
it tracks.
Cause like I said before, guys, when I first met Chris, the
My mom
amount of
said no
shit he
problem.
was talking in Jersey, I wanted to stomp him to death. I go, this little short kid is talking this much noise. I said, yeah, he needed to be stomped out, but actually, I guess he could back it up. I guess.
My mom said hi, no problem. She'll tell you everything. I should have her on. I'm
Thank
not getting
you.
embarrassed like that.
Hey,
You were not coming on this show ever.
Mom, I want to make that happen immediately. I'm down for all that. I want all that smoke. I'm down for it all. That would
I'm
that
actually
would
shocked she knows how to use it.
that
I'm
would be
actually
the
shocked
most
she knows how to use the chat.
that would be the most watched podcast we've ever had.
I'm genuinely surprised she knows how to use the chat, to be fair. She's like 65 years old. I'm impressed. Oh, she's 66 now. That's right. She had a birthday a couple weeks ago.
Hold it.
I'm
How?
impressed.
Hold on, Chris. I'm 57.
Yeah, you're only 9 years younger than my mom, you old bitch.
Yeah. What she had you? What she had you when she was 12?
She was 24.
My God. Hey, me and your mom, we could have dated.
You, you have to remember that you were like a sophomore in high school when I was born, buddy.
Yeah. That is wild. That is wild.
All
Anyway,
right,
that's
so
pretty
what
cool.
I can tell you about the USAW investigation is that there is one in progress. That's all I can tell you. I know some details, but I don't want to give anyone the ability to fight it based on information they don't know that I do know. Does that make sense? Abjin?
Well, like I said,
So
everything.
that's
What happened?
well, he just wants me to talk about what's known about the USAW investigation. And I was just telling him, like, there's one in progress. That's all I can really say because I don't want to undercut it or give out information that could
Like I
jeopardize
said,
that investigation.
everybody, without us having something in our hand, it's all just secondhand information. You know what I'm saying? people may tell us something, but that don't mean it's actually true. They're just, they may be giving us, hey, something's coming down the line, something we may be close to getting something done. That don't mean it's done. We can't say something's done if there's no information out there that's saying it's done. Then if it's not the case, then we're on the hook for saying the wrong thing. So we always go what we think our opinion is, or what we think may happen, or a rumor. Like I said before, if this is what we think may be coming down, but we don't actually 100% know for sure. Now Chris is in the know on a lot of stuff, but it's like I said, it's just hearsay. You know what I'm saying? Like you hear in court, they say, hey, it's secondhand information. It's hearsay. We can't say it's the letter of the law until it becomes the actual letter of the law, where it's printed on
Yeah,
paper and somebody put it out there.
and I and like I'm going to talk about something here that a mom from the New Prairie program um, contacted me to tell me. So that's a realistic firsthand eyewitness account of what happened to her family,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So it's I still have to say it as if I still have to say it's that's what she alleges. I can't say it's 100% fact, right? Because I have to be fair in the reporting, obviously, right?
But hold up, before you get started, is this something that she told to you that happened to her, or she's seen it happen to somebody else?
She's telling me this. This is her experience interacting with the school district. These are the things that happen in the wrestling room to her child.
Oh, well, that's different. She's giving you a personal account that happened to her. So yeah, somebody who
Yes.
said if this happened to me, like you guys in the chat, you guys are saying this is what happened to me. I was a part of this. This was going on. That's different because you're taking ownership of that situation. If somebody tells us, "Hey, I heard this," or somebody told me this, that's different. We're just reporting on what the rumor is. We ain't saying that's what actually happened. So I got you there.
I'm trying to get some information for the chat real quick.
All right, like Chris said, send him whatever you want to send him. If you want us to talk about it or open up about it, or do what we can do with it. That's what we're here for. We're here to make this better overall. We're here to clear the air.
Yeah, I know somebody who can answer that question for him, so I texted them and asked them to put the information in the chat for me.
Yeah.
So you guys will get who you should email here shortly.
Like I said, the name of
Oh,
the game is we're doing this to help to right or wrong, basically. So we're happy to do it. You know what I'm saying?
well, that and there's people that shouldn't be doing what they're doing. To the degree the reputation of Indiana wrestling is being tarnished, which is unacceptable to me because I love this state. I love the wrestling in this state. There's been a lot of work put in to make this state into a wrestling state.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a legitimate argument that Indiana is cracking the top 10 in wrestling in the United States. So anybody that knows wrestling, like that, there's a legitimate argument for. I'm not saying high up in the top 10. I'm talking like 9, 10, 8.
Yeah.
That 8 to 10 spot. Indiana has a legitimate argument to be in, and we don't need anybody tarnishing what we got going on here. So there's been a lot of work to get us there.
Now that part I agree because you have to think what's the rest of the world is taking from this. You know what I'm saying? This say I'm a Notre Dame fan and I love this coach, and I see guys from Indiana coming after him. I'm like, well, why is Indiana letting this happen? You know what I'm saying? And then I go, okay, what kind of people are these people? You know what I'm saying? Should I even go to Indiana if they're gonna come at one of the biggest guys in Indiana? I know I shouldn't go there. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the casual person, is gonna think. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you're doing what you're doing.
But I would like to. The mom asked me to keep her anonymous, of course, because she's in the thick of it. But
Oh, you gonna go over it? Oh, cool. Okay, yeah, let's do it.
yeah, I took some notes. I had about an hour and 45-minute phone call with her
Oh,
a few days ago.
hey, Chris is becoming a big guy in Indiana now. He getting phone calls to be the
Yeah, we still do
guy.
the old.
All right,
Yeah, it
Chad.
turns
Let me
out
ask
some
you:
people.
is Chris the face of all this now? Is Chris the go-to guy in Indiana for this situation? Is that what I'm seeing? Do I have to give Chris some raggedy credit that he may be the guy in Indiana to help us get this situation handled? Is that what's going on here? Please don't let that be the case. I don't know if I can live with it. My ulcer is already bad enough. All right, go ahead, Chris. I'm done. I'm done messing with you now.
I'm gonna have them send me the email because apparently it's not letting people post links in the chat. But maybe I can, if I know what the email is, maybe I can find a roundabout way to do it.
Okay. Oh, somebody has something to send you from the chat.
Yeah, they're gonna send me the emails for USA Wrestling that needs to go to, and I'll try and find some
Oh. I got you. I got you. Okay. Cool.
find some roundabout way to do it.
Cool.
But
Hey, the more help you can give us, the better.
so with this mom, yeah, so this mom's kid's been wrestling since like first grade.
Okay.
There's a lot of kids over at New Prairie that have been wrestling together since they were little kids,
Uh huh.
but they're not part of Fleeger's club, so they're basically riding the pine and just
Really?
being cast off the side. Yeah. So some of the stuff she told me that she's alleging is that the school's not taking any parent complaints seriously. The superintendent doesn't care what parents think. So, that kind of tracks, I feel like, in my opinion, from
Yeah.
what we've seen.
Yeah.
Um,
And like you said, and that's the whole point. So think of that child who wants to wrestle and can't because the coach is taking it out on that child. That's what I mean by evil. You know what I'm saying? We already know. If you're corrupt and you're trying to, you know, make money by doing a hustle or trying to find a way to fleece somebody out of their money, make them pay for something that they shouldn't be paying for. That's what criminals do. But what turns you into a mean person, a serious evil person, is when you target kids because of how you feel, because you don't like what that you can't get your own way, and you take it out on a child. That's what makes you an evil person, in my opinion. So
I'm typing in the chat real quick.
yeah, I'm trying to figure out what are you chatting. You got at Gmail, then you got at
I'm
rest.
telling them,
Okay,
I'm telling them where to send their emails. USA Wrestling. It's kdixon at usawrestling.com. I broke it up into 3 different chats because it doesn't let you send a link in our chat.
who is K Dixon?
Do it at USA Wrestling. You just send your complaints to.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So I had to break it up into 3 different ones so that people could just type it into their browser or their email. If I send it on one line and it has an actual email address, it won't let you do it in the chat.
I got you. All right,
So
there you go.
yeah, that tracks from everything I've seen. So then she told me allegedly that the kids were given homework in wrestling.
To do to
Now,
do to do where?
I, I'll get there. I'm just
Okay.
saying I wrestled my entire life in high school, and I was never once given homework in an extracurricular sporting event. Were you? I wasn't.
Never. Me
Nope,
neither.
nothing. The homework was, allegedly, all the kids were directed to write positive things about Fleeger in a letter form. What? What? What?
Oh my
What
God.
are we talking about? What are we talking about?
I just have to say it. Don't hate the player, hate the game, right? Because obviously
You
he
know,
knew. Go ahead.
I heard what the chat said too. That anything you give the school board, they will share it with Fleeger so he can defend himself.
Yeah.
And they said, you have to give us your name. You can't be anonymous, or we won't listen to it at all. So basically, the school board's like, not only do you have to file your complaint, you have to tell us who you are, and we're going to show it to Fleeger so he can defend himself. That's not an investigation. That's to me, that's a roundabout way of trying to get away with witness intimidation.
Well, I'm not even looking at. I'm not even looking at that right there. I'm looking at how easy they were willing to put kids in harm's way. That they were letting him do whatever he wants to these kids, and they're okay with it. I don't even understand what kind of level of mentality you got to have to let that happen. And you're a school for kids. That's what I don't get. It's beyond my comprehension.
Well, I look, homework, really? And that's the homework you give?
No,
Brother.
yo, I get it for a narcissist. That makes perfect sense. Tell me how great I am, so I can make a report to everybody how good I am. It makes perfect sense to me.
Like, first of all, to me, that's the actions of. You have to basically. You're not going to get any if you don't force the kids to do it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean?
But let's look at let's still paint the picture. Okay. So I'm the parent, Chris, and you're the coach. And my son comes home and goes, Hey Dad, I gotta write a report to tell everybody how good my coach is. And I'm like, why? Right? If I let my son do it, that makes me crazy as well. You know what I'm saying? Without calling the school or asking the questions, you know what I'm saying? I let it happen too. You get me?
Especially because every single parent over there knows exactly what's going on right now. Like they can't claim ignorance.
Yep, they can't. And that's where that guilty by association comes in. No matter if, like I said before, if you didn't step up and do, every parent who at least wrote a letter now has a trail to go, look, I tried to stop it. So they may have a way out of this if stuff blows up in everybody's face. And they try to come at not only Chris himself, but the school, the teachers, and parents for seeming like they let it happen. But if you try to do something about it and the school blocked it, good. Now you have a legit reason to come at the school too. To go, I tried to save my son. I tried to save the situation, and y'all didn't let me do it. Now you have recourse. But if you didn't do anything, you're guilty by association. That's sometimes just as bad.
Yep. She also, there's a couple interesting ones here.
Okay.
She said that the club kids basically have been trained in a culture in which they bully the non-club kids on the team. And then she said her son told this quote from Coach Fleeger: if you're getting pinned, instead of getting pinned, bite them. and get DQ'd, I'll respect you more.
Wow.
She said that he said that at practice to the wrestlers.
Wow. Yo.
That's what she said was told to her by her son.
Do, do you know? Okay, we don't even know. Like we keep saying, we don't know how deep this is, how deep this goes.
That's a mindset thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like that's
yeah,
just peering into the mindset.
yeah. Like I said, just think in all these investigations, they find hundreds of moms like this from way back when he first started to now. And they got documents and proofs and letters. Do you know what kind of time he could be looking at? Because
Well,
that's basically coercing a kid to hurt another kid. I don't know how you label that as you know. I don't know if you can call it assault. I don't even know how you label it.
I ain't no lawyer or nothing like that. I'm just an electrician. But I if some of the things being investigated that are alleged and they come true, to answer your question, should he be in jail? Some of that stuff is some of the stuff that is being looked into is possibly criminal. Yes.
Because let's back it up. Let's take it off Chris for a minute, right? Because we all been saying since day one he's been protected. Okay, so let's look at chain of custody. All right, a parent had a legit gripe, sent an email through the proper channels to get viewed, evaluated, and some kind of action takes place. They in turn tried to bully the parent to back down by saying we will give all this information to Chris without no investigation, so that he can plead his own case, right? That means legal authority made a decision without any investigation. So now whoever is over the school either didn't know or knew and did nothing. Because that's the next question. They go, everybody over the school board, where were you at when this was going on? If they got no deniability saying we don't know, the next question is, why didn't you know? Why weren't you going to school to see was everything is above board and all the kind of good stuff? Then this comes out. When it came out, you guys should have been there double checking that this wasn't an freaking isolated incident. You got kid bullying and no one said nothing. You know what I'm saying? It becomes a domino effect. It just grows and grows and grows because somebody has to answer for it, and it won't be just Chris. You see what I'm saying?
Well, the other question it raises is, if they'll do it in this instance, how many other instances have they done this in other sports?
Yeah.
And other complaints?
Yeah. Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Is there a culture of them intimidating people into not reporting by saying they'll share it with the people they're reporting on?
Yeah.
At that school in general.
Yeah.
By that administration, right? Because if you show me your hand once, I have to believe you're doing it. That's normal operating procedure. That's the assumption I have to make, right?
Yep. And that will make perfect sense about the silence. Because we were always saying, why are people so silent? Is this what they do in Indiana? I'm coming at you, go Chris. Hey, Chris, is this what they do in Indiana? Ain't nobody trying to fight this thing? And you go, hey, maybe it's the culture. And to come to find out, it may be the culture in that school. So
it definitely feels like it.
Yeah. To anybody who can reason.
My gut feeling is telling me it kind of feels like this is their normal operating procedure.
To any reasonable person who is trying to make heads or tails of this, you know, you do simple things. Go, okay, right and wrong, legal or not legal, good or bad, you know, parents and kids, harm's way, all these things, you run the list Sooner or later, this situation is going to fall on one of those things. Then it becomes a thing on that area by itself. Was Chris putting kids in harm's way? Now we can say yes. Was he creating an environment of bullying? We can say yes. You see what I'm saying? We're not even talking about, okay, was he recruiting kids to do harm to other kids? We could possibly say yes to that too. So we're not even talking about anything else but just that alone.
Right. The goatness brings up a legitimate question. A teacher reported the intention to harm a kid to the AD. And it's impossible to get the name of the teacher.
Okay.
And is the teacher still teaching? Did they do something to her? Like no one knows the status of this teacher. We don't know her name. We don't know if she got any disciplinary action for it or what. But I agree, Indiana Scrap. They win, so they don't give a shit, which is crazy at the high school level to even fathom. Cool, you win. Sick, dude. It's high school. Great. But don't you want to win with your kids? How many of your kids in your school district are sitting on the bench because they bring in other schools' kids and then tell your kids, you worked your ass off for 7 years to get to this point to help this school out, and you paid taxes your whole lives to this school district. Oh, now that you're in high school, get fucked. We're bringing all these kids in so you can sit on the bench.
Yeah. Oh.
It's one thing to build a program by coaching kids from a young age all the way up. It's another thing to be like, oh, there's kids that are already good. Let me steal them. And then I can take credit for them when they do something good.
And that's and that brings that. It still goes back to the parents. Is it go along to get along mentality? You still have to go. I mean, as a parent, I still got to ask myself, why did I let this happen to my kid? If my kid is not winning and he's riding the bench, why did I take the kid? Why did I take the kid out of wrestling and put him someplace else? I go, little Johnny, are you happy here? If he says no, I gotta take my kid out of it. So that's a lot of stuff I don't get, is why these so many parents, because he should, based on what we know now, he shouldn't even have a wrestling team, but he did.
Dude, now try being one of those kids you recruited and that kid doesn't win.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother problem.
Okay, but then again, it comes down to, did he even care? Because he recruited them to make a lick off him. You know what I'm saying? He recruited them to make money.
He doesn't care. It's all about, the only reason he wants the kids to win is so that he can say, look at my kids win. It's all about making himself look good.
Yep.
And as soon as those kids move on and he's done using them, they're gone.
Mm-hmm.
He moves on to the next ones.
Yep. And like we said before with Chris, we were talking, right? A chat, me and Fight Fans, me and Chris was talking about all of the kids who are now living their adult life with these scars from Chris Fleeger now. From Fleeger now. I gotta stop saying Chris because there's two Chris on here. From Fleeger now. They're in adulthood, in college or out of college, with this stain on their life because of this guy, with a sport they loved. Imagine that as a young man.
Oh, I know some of the kids through my son who they'll tell him they hate the guy, but they're forced to stay there because of their parents. That's the blindness we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep.
When your kid's like, yo, this dude is doing X, Y, and Z, I don't want to be here. You're like, tough shit. What are you doing?
right? And that's why I asked you what were the options. Where could these kids go? But you saying they're recruiting them from outside the district. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they have no choice. What else could they
They
do?
got some kids. They got some kids from California, bro.
Okay, I don't even know how that happened.
That's crazy.
But then,
Well,
like I said,
I got a screenshot from a text message saying that the three from California came specifically because Fleeger recruited them. And I'll be more than happy to give that to you FSA tomorrow.
well, see, like I said, this can't be. You mean to tell me, after we know Chris's freaking, criminal record, he is no mastermind. How did he pull this off? To where he recruiting from as far as California, whatever the hell you say. This guy is not pulling this off by himself. There ain't no way.
Well, you know how this goes, right, dude? Like, there's people that know his accolades. There's people that know him in passing that he hasn't personally fucked yet.
Okay.
That will still vouch for him.
Okay.
But am I leaving Daniel Cormier? Absolutely fucking not.
But
Like,
still,
one of these kids came from Gilroy, bro.
okay, it's one
Where
thing.
Daniel Cormier was the head.
Go ahead. I mean, but it's one thing to have a wrestling camp. Anybody who's worth their salt can do a wrestling camp. All you gotta do is pay the rent at a high school, for the weekend, have a wrestling camp. Bing bang boom. Then the kids get back in their car and they go home to wherever the hell they live. Right? But to build a system where kids come from another state, stay in a home, somebody else's home, and go to school there is a different level that he is not capable of doing. So the school had to be involved in every aspect of what he did for this to pull off at that level. He's just one guy.
I agree there's a network. I don't know what that network is comprised of. But I agree with the group effort.
Yeah.
I just don't know what the group is.
Because if I if I was getting paid off Chris, say I was making, $100 per kid, and he got 70 kids, that's a good lick I'm making, right? So it's in my best interest to protect him, right? If I'm in a position that things have to cross my desk before they go out to the world. So if a complaint comes to my desk, it's going in the shredder or whatever the hell it's going, because I'm making $100 a head and I want more heads. You see what I'm saying? So that makes perfect sense from a criminal criminal system mind. Makes perfect sense.
Well, when you think about it, in Indiana, the school district gets tax dollars based on enrollment.
Yeah,
and Indiana's about $9,800 a kid.
Got you.
So
yeah, we're getting hit up about the lag. Sorry, guys, the lag is not on my end. My numbers are really low here, so it's not coming from my stream. I want to say it's Kick.
It's got to be Kick because I'm not lagging over here. I'm not lagging at all tonight for once.
Yeah.
My internet's actually working tonight.
and that's the crazy part.
I bet you on Facebook it's not lagging.
No, I haven't seen it buffer yet on Facebook.
Yeah, so it's probably Kick tonight, guys.
So we're like I said, I have it's my computer tells me when my system is working too hard, and that's not the case at all. It's extremely low, extremely low. So I just want to say, I apologize. I want to say it's Kick because there's no way I can explain it. And we don't got no snow over here yet, So don't say we got snow in South Carolina, because that ain't the case.
So yeah, so it's the tax dollars, and then I believe every student in the hybrid program pays the school $300 a month on top of it. So
Yeah.
he has like
So
35 kids, so whatever, 35 times 3, 15, carry 105, so 10,005 a kid, roughly a school year program. So like 10,000 a month, 10 and a, Mom, you're an accountant. Do the math for me.
so
Three
that's a
times 35,
so that's a big time
105.
hustle. That's not even a lick. That's a legit organized hustle like you will see in any major organization. So this is not a lick. This guy ain't selling bootleg Nikes out of his van, right? He got a well-oiled system that is generating 10 grand a month or more. That's real money.
Well, and then from the allegations we've been told is that he's also getting $400 a kid under the table every month in cash.
Oh, so that wasn't even that's in
That's
addition
separate.
to the 400. Wow.
Yeah, that's separate.
Wow.
Which that's what we've been told by. And you know what? I got that information from parents in the hybrid program.
Shit.
So it's not like that's just I heard that from a person who told a person who told a person.
Okay, if I'm taking my personal, animosity for this guy, the hate I have for this guy, and look at what he's done. This is a freaking pretty good hustle. I hate to say it, it's a pretty good hustle. He got with the right guys at the right time to do the wrong shit. Right? And I hope he gets whatever he got coming to him and everybody involved to come to him. Now, if it wasn't happening to kids, I wonder if we would even give a F. But the fact that it's happening to kids and what he's doing to these kids and what he's making these kids do, right? He need to get dealt with.
Let's be perfectly clear here. If someone tried to say this crazy nonsense in your time, no, he's not the only coach in Indiana that recruits. And we all know the programs that recruit. Every one of us knows. And every one of us could name the programs that recruit. We all know. All right, let's just get that out of the way. We all know.
Okay, but
They
look
aren't
what,
but they aren't but the people that are doing it, the adults around those programs are not gigantic shit turds.
okay, but like I said, at this point, that don't even matter. Okay, God forbid.
Yeah, it's low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, like I said before, God forbid they got a new DA or a new, police chief or somebody who wants to rack up some bones right quick. If they do a statewide investigation on all recruiting and all these programs like the hybrid, and they come after them all, they make sure they're all above board. This could be a serious problem this guy has created for the rest of the community in Indiana if it goes that far. And there's no reason to say that it can't. If they get one, there may be two. Like I was saying, whenever there's smoke, there's fire. If there's one out there, maybe there's two out there doing this. Maybe there's three out there doing this. We don't know. It could become a thing just that fast.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody here knows. Everybody in this chat knows what programs are I'm not going to say it out loud, but one of the programs was mentioned in the chat. But I actually like those people over there, and they're not terrible human beings. But you're not wrong. There's everyone in this chat knows which schools recruit and which ones recruit consistently. But the reason why no one cares is because, one, it's not so blatant. It's not just blatantly out there, right? It's just, you know where the kids were when they were young. You know they are now in high school, right? Like, you can put two and two together, right? But at least you have to infer it.
Yeah.
And those coaches are not terrible human beings. If that makes sense. But someone on Facebook tried to accuse me of saying that he's the only one that recruits. And I'm like, bro, first of all, that's not even the actual point of all this. But I also acknowledge that there's multiple other programs that recruit. And if they were doing the things that are happening at Newberry, they would be on this podcast getting absolutely shit on just like right now. Let's just get that out of the way. That's all I'm trying to say.
No, the only thing he did, and the school he works for, they just took advantage of the system. That's all they did. Just like those Somalia immigrants got $250 million from the welfare system, right? They took advantage of the system. Come to find out, it wasn't them. They had somebody else who did it.
It's like 10 billion. But yeah.
Huh? What was it?
It's like 10 billion, but yeah.
Oh, it was 10 billion? Really?
Yeah, bro.
Holy shit.
The Somalians did more fraud than the entire GDP of Somalia, bro.
But like I said, do you think they did it? They just worked the system that somebody else put in place. There ain't no way they did that. Ain't no way. Somebody else, just like with Chris, somebody built the system and put Chris on, made Chris the face of it. Now, he was doing his own bullshit, don't get us wrong, right? But there ain't no way he's recruiting kids by himself to go to a school he has no control over. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. He don't got control of that school.
Well, we're assuming that there's not a personal relationship between him and the administration. Or we're assuming he's not part of the good old boys club.
Okay. Let's just say he is. He's not the dean of the school. He's not over the administration.
We're also assuming that there's no. You know how people get when they're intertwined. People know other people's secrets. You know what I'm saying?
If that's the case, then he pulled off the best fade in the history of fades. He had everybody fooled. Everybody fooled. He was the modern day usual suspects. He had everybody fooled. We thought he had a limp and he walked just fine. He had everybody fooled.
That's a good show, by the way.
It's a great show. Oh, we're talking about the Bears.
Yeah, that's
beers. Oh,
beers.
You know what?
He wants to have beers with me.
Hey, that's a good point. Chris, where aren't you drinking? The fuck wrong with you?
What do you mean? Why am I? What? I've been drinking the whole time.
I ain't see that one beer go to your lips. I ain't missed all. Fight fans.
Look.
Now I know something is wrong.
This is so far in the first hour and 15 minutes.
I didn't see you take not one sip. What is going on with me? How I missed all that? Maybe because all this lag y'all talking about.
Maybe I'm just being a little more subtle about it because of the subject matter. Maybe I'm more open about it when we get to our normal podcast material.
Okay. Hey, everybody make this a note. Chris just made an adult statement. He's actually being responsible. Can you even imagine Chris being responsible? I can't at all.
Hey, I've got 3 kids to adulthood.
I met your kids. They're struggling. That ain't something you can't ride. You can't ride too deep
It's
on
not
that.
fair. It's not fair because I haven't met yours yet, so I can't even make the comparison.
Matter of fact, I got to make that happen. A chat room and Mrs. Mommy Chris, your grandbabies made me want to kill them the first time I met them. Them 3 little monsters was talking so much junk. I said, I'm gonna get a homicide in freaking Jersey. Oh my God, Mama, we got stuff to talk about. We got plenty to talk about. I can't wait to meet you now.
You're mine. That's a fact.
Yeah, there you go. Claim it. So you may be the orchestra of all this craziness. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh, there you go. My mom says I drink like my dad. So there you go.
Oh, well, there you go. Now, okay, now all that's making sense now. Now we get into the root of the issue now.
Which isn't even true. He drinks way more than me.
Well, that's saying something then. I mean, he can get down because Chris can go.
When you grow up in the Midwest, it's kind of like a thing.
Apparently, drinking beer and sleeping late is an Indiana thing.
It's makes an entire Midwest thing.
Makes no sense.
Oh, they want to see my shoes. So, by the way, it's cold as hell in this basement, and I don't own any slippers. So I stole my wife's slippers.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I'm going to show you the shoes I'm wearing to keep my toes warm.
Yeah, put it up so I can laugh. All right, so now Chris is Metro. Yep, I knew something was wrong with him. Now I got it. Chris is Metro.
It is 3 degrees outside, and I'm in a basement. Give me a break.
Boy, I would have shut this podcast down so fast if I'm in 3. Nope, we ain't doing that. I'm nice and toasty. I don't play that shit.
It can't be like 55 degrees down here right now, dude. I am doing well and holding it in. That's why I'm drinking. Keep me warm.
It's not even that cold outside here compared to your basement.
Yet.
It's coming though. It's coming.
Dude, I heard it's going to snow in Florida this week.
Yeah, I know. It's about to get effed up.
They're not even going to know what to do.
All right, guys. Hey, we got to give you the rest of this podcast. We've been going at it over an hour, and we haven't even cracked the full of the podcast yet.
I mean, let's does the chat have any questions they want us to answer if we can before we move on to some college wrestling and some raft and some MMA
that we can answer? Don't give us wings and the prayers that we can't really answer. Ask a question that we can actually answer.
Mom, that is not how you spell.
The chat be getting crazy.
Spell euchre.
And now I'm all nervous because I can't cuss the chat out because Mama Chris is on there. God dang it.
My mom would just cuss you out back. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay. Well, I was just raised. I can't do that.
When you said her grandbabies, I was like, careful now, Grandma. Now, Grandma different than Mama, dude. That's different.
Hey,
buy me slippers from the
Hey, Mama Chris, I will tell you this. Your son has been so close to death more than I can count. I've been less close to death in the Marine Corps than Chris has been as my friend. I've been plotting to kill your son for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong. God's always smiling though, so I somehow always surviving.
Yeah, his survival instincts is no joke. I give him an A on that. he have survived some serious close calls. But anyway, chat, what you got for us before we switch gears?
Well, we got my mom signed me slippers for my birthday, so at least I know she still loves me. That's a plus.
Well, now that we know he's Metro, I'm dying to see what she sends you.
Man, desperate times call for desperate measures, right?
Apparently, he said we should call the podcast the Deep Fleeger podcast. You right, it goes deep. That's for damn sure. Well, yeah, he should. Go ahead.
I'm getting some information.
Uh-oh.
I'm digging a little bit. So
okay, I guess we're gonna stay on Chris then. Let's keep going.
So even though they said it wasn't on the docket and they weren't going to talk about the board meeting, I'm getting information that a bunch of the club parents were in fact at the board meeting. So I'm trying to figure out if they decided to talk about it because all the club parents are there, because it would have favored them. And if it did, I'm going in on that ass real fast.
Okay, say that again. So you said the parents from the club were at the board meeting. What does that mean exactly? They mean they were on Chris's side, Fleeger's side?
Yeah, they're from Fleeger's club.
Okay, I got you.
So a board meeting in which the board said publicly they weren't going to talk about it. They were not going to comment. Well, since I'm finding out a bunch of the club parents were at the board meeting, I want to know if they took public comments. Because I'm genuinely curious now.
Well, if they did, they couldn't because it'd be public record, right? If they would have took anybody's statement, it'd have been public record, right?
But elected officials trying to discourage the public from speaking. And then saying it's not on the agenda, and then they go ahead and add it because it favors them. That's a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
So I want to know, did they address it?
Well, you said they weren't putting it on the docket. So if somebody stood up and said something, then they have to listen to it. They can't shut it down, right?
I mean, they can. If they say it's not on the docket, if they say it's not on the agenda, they can. If they say they're not taking public comments.
So you mean to tell me if I went to a public forum with leaders over the school district and I said my kid is being bullied on the mat at this school, and they says we're not taking that, that's criminal.
Okay, so a lot of club parents went, and to the school board's credit, they did not let them speak.
Okay. Wow.
So that's information I'm getting in real time right now.
Wow.
So the chat's already bringing up some NCAA stuff. So we'll get this. We got some NCAA wrestling to talk about. I'm all about watching Iowa State on Sunday versus Oklahoma State and versus Northern Iowa. It's gonna be legit. I'm really looking forward to Oklahoma State, Iowa State on Sunday. I will be absolutely watching that.
Okay.
So we'll continue on, but I got information coming. So if I get information while we're talking about other stuff, I'll jump back, and then we'll continue on with what we're going with. So, just because I've always got stuff coming in. So.
Well, Chris is the guy in Indiana now, so he's the face of this stuff now. So let's let him keep rolling with what he's rolling with.
The meeting is on YouTube.
Oh, is it?
They did not address the Fleeger situation at all.
Wow.
They said they weren't going to, which is fucking crazy to me.
Okay, so all right, that's potentially a real problem for them.
Insanity.
Because think about it.
Insanity.
if the whole bunch of parents sent them letters about how their kids are being treated, and then at the very next board meeting or school or whatever school board meeting, they don't address it, that means they're openly saying we don't care about your problems. Because that's the only forum they can have an open discussion on. Wow.
Bro, that's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, this is getting interesting, y'all. Some parent got a bestseller right now. They sitting on a bestseller. All right, Chris, get to writing. Write your book.
I ain't that good at English. I need some with a college degree to help me out. I ain't never been in college, so.
Well,
the problem is I write how I talk, and that's not good.
Yeah, so do I. Hey, get your boy to help you. He supposed to be smart. Which one's in college now?
That's true. When Mateo comes back from college, he can write my book for me. He can English it up for me.
And Mateo,
his girlfriend with the master's in education administration can write my book for me.
All right, hey Chris, you ready to switch gears? Let's go ahead and
yeah. Let's give our wrestling fans some wrestling talk.
All right, go ahead and get to it. You want to do RAF? You want to do college? RAF?
Let's do RAF, and then we'll the college one we'll get to.
All right.
All right.
So, apparently, guys, hold on. Let me say this, Chris. Apparently, we have a thing with Bo Nichols and Kobe Covington. If y'all heard the last podcast, we were talking about how Kobe Covington basically shitted on, Bo Nichols. We tried to come at him, at the press conference, and Kobe Covington ate him alive. Well, MMA Fighting had Eric Bischoff on their podcast, and he was talking about if UFC is paying attention, having Bo Nichols fight Kobe Covington, at the UFC, then have him come back to the RAF and wrestle will be one of the biggest rivalries in at least 2026 right now. And I agree. They have turned this, Kobe have turned this into a thing. So this is getting very interesting, and Bo Nichols is doing himself no favors by not being able to learn how to talk shit, because he's getting his ass handed to him by Kobe Covington. It's brutal, almost painful to watch.
First, that's the MMA take. I got the wrestling side of this.
Okay.
Bo Nichols coming out here and saying he wants to wrestle Abdulrashid Saduliev.
Okay.
Which, first of all, Bo, go fuck yourself.
Okay, first of all, catch the fans up of who that is and why does that even matter? Who is he? Why does he matter?
Saduliev is one of the best 97-kilo wrestlers of all time.
Okay.
Right? He's beaten everybody, including Kyle Snyder. He's a bad man.
Wow.
Right? I don't want to see Bo Nichols versus Saduliev. What I want to see is, because they have Tazudinov and they have Snyder in the heavyweight division at RAF.
Yeah.
Snyder won the world championships. Tazudinov got bronze. And Saduliev wasn't in the bracket.
Okay.
Because of visa issues.
I got you.
So I want to see the dudes in the world championship bracket wrestle Saduliev at RAF, because that's more pertinent to who's the best heavyweight in the world. I don't give a shit about Bo Nichols. How about Bo Nichols sacks up and wrestles someone in his weight class and defends his fucking belt for the first time in 3 fucking months?
Okay, so Saduliev is a heavyweight, or however you say his name. Bo's not a heavyweight, so why does he want to fight a heavyweight when he was complaining about Romero being 7 pounds over?
because he has no idea how to set up a matchup. What Bo should be doing is saying, Covington, wrestle me in RAF, and then we'll do a UFC fight as a backstop. We'll do the one in RAF because we can make it happen, snap of a finger. And then we'll get with Dana and do the UFC, the MMA side of it in UFC. And I agree with Bischoff. Do it in the White House.
Yeah.
Covington, and Bone, Texas. These are Americans, Americans. Like, especially Covington. You know about Covington. That dude says some off the wall shit.
Yeah.
So put him on the White House lawn in June, right? Is that in June or is that July?
Oh, I want to say, oh, January, February, maybe June.
I can't remember if it was like with July 4th or if it was the month before, but sometime in the summer. So great. Do an RAF match in May and then fight each other in June or July.
Well, first of all,
this is who his next opponent should be, is Colby Covington.
Bo has no credibility right now. It doesn't matter what he did back in NCAAs. None of that stuff matters. He's in the pro leagues now, right? Which means you act accordingly to what the promotion needs to sell matches, right? He hasn't fought since freaking RAF 1. He's turning down matches, right? And he's not stepping up when the promotion asks him to. And that's what Colby Covington said. He said, they pretty much said, hey, why not fight either or? Downey or Romero? He turned down both. How can you be the guy to call out somebody when you won't even give RAF what they asked you to give them? They're not giving you this match because you want it. And Colby Covington is right now in the face of all this. You gotta have to sit. You gotta have to take a back seat. Colby Covington is killing it right now, killing it.
He should have wrestled Downey.
Agreed.
For the belt.
Agreed.
That's what he should have did. But he was being a whiny bitch and didn't wrestle anybody. And then Raph fucked up and still gave him the belt back. So there's fault on both sides here. I would have been like, if you want the belt, you need to wrestle somebody tonight. Period. Point blank.
Well,
But they gave him the belt back and allowed him to say, "Fuck you! I'm not wrestling anybody."
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, technically you're right on that. I can't even complain now, right? If he would have fought Downey, it was a good chance he would have got an easy win. Point made, case over. He's back in the win column. All good. The picture that's being painted, he was scared of Romero, and he thought Downey wasn't on his level, right? No matter how you look at it, that's a shitty look. Because if Downey wasn't on his level, you should have teched him in the first round, called it a day. But since you didn't do that, what does that make you? You can't say you're the best in the game. You're not fighting. That ain't how it works.
Let's be clear. Downey is an RAF guy.
Yeah.
Downey does whatever RAF tells him to do.
Yep.
When they need somebody to step in, Downey's like, I'm here. When Bo Nickel fell through with the Romero, who stepped in and took the fight? Downey did.
Yep.
Downey is an RAF guy. He is a promotion guy.
Yeah.
And because of that simple fact, RAF should be like, you're going to wrestle Pat Downey, you don't have a choice. You're not getting the belt. Because we're going to reward Downey with a belt shot because he's a RAF guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's where RAF fucked it up.
Yeah, but still, on top of that, that's what RAF did. But all the momentum Bo would have had if he would have fought Romero now goes to, what's that guy, Steven. Now goes
Buchanan.
Goes to Buchanan because he ended up beating Romero and taking him. So now Bo can't say, I'm the best if you're scared to fight somebody and somebody else fights him and beats him. You're not the best if somebody else can beat the guy and you didn't want to fight him because he was 7 pounds overweight. That doesn't scream champion. That doesn't scream champion at all. That's a PR nightmare.
On the wrestling side, I expected better out of Bo Nickel. Like, at the end of the day, right now, the way Bo Nickel's acting, Raph is almost better off without him.
Agreed.
Like, now, they need to do what they're doing at RAF 06, where they got like 4 middleweight matches. They need to fill out this light heavyweight division so that there's a legitimate title contender against Bo Nickel, so they can solve this problem.
Well, I mean,
they need to make Nickel earn it. And same thing, like when Yanni hasn't wrestled since RAF 01 either. Like, when the hell is he coming back?
I don't even know what to say about Yanni. We can't bring him up in conversation because there's nothing being said about him.
Like, Yanni should be like one of the biggest names in this damn promotion, and we haven't seen him since the first event. Like, how do you not wrestle in 5 events and still keep your belt?
I think there's something legitly going on with Yanni that's bad because I could see if they say, well, he's injured or he has other obligations or whatever, but the fact that no one's saying anything about a belt holder, current belt holder. They didn't say he's stripped. They didn't say because he hasn't been wrestling, well, go ahead and put the belts up just like they did with Oliver and Woods. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're not saying anything. So that belt is in limbo, and there's nobody talking about, I want that belt. Even people who's competing go, hey, when can I get that shot at the belt? You're not even hearing that.
There is.
Who is?
Well, it's because Gomez is the one that's going to wrestle for that belt because he beat O'Connor.
Okay.
So that Yanni's opponent's already picked. That's the match. That's what's going to happen when Yanni wrestles.
Okay.
It's going to be Yanni versus Gomez.
So you mean Gomez is going to have to sit on the shelf and wait for Yanni to come out of wherever the hell he's at? That you telling me?
Apparently, because the Gomez-Connor match was billed as the winner gets Yanni.
Okay.
So
this is prize fighting. How many times have we heard UFC fighters going, I haven't fought in a year, right? A prize fighter cannot sit on the shelf waiting on somebody else. He should already be booking him into another fight. If they're making Gomez, say he waits out a year. He don't get paid for a year. Is that what you're telling me?
That's my point, right? Like, if Yanni's hurt, then vacate the belt and then come back and win it when you're healthy.
But you got to say that.
I agree with you. I'm just saying, like, at this point, vacate the belt so that the weight class can continue moving forward until you're able to defend your title.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I agree in that part.
That's my opinion on it. I think that's what, at this point, like, we're going in the RAF 06, and I think Yanni's the only to defend his belt.
I agree.
And speaking of belts, I don't know who's going to take DeSanto's belt from him right now. DeSanto is out there killing it. He just won gold in France. DeSanto's out there absolutely laying wood on people, dude.
Really?
He just won the gold in France, where he teched his way through the whole tournament.
Really?
And the first round, he beat Tomasello 10-0 again.
Wow. Hey, first of all, Chris, that was a story by itself. Okay. Hey, Mom, Chris, you see how your son be effing up the situation? He been sitting on some great news that we should already put in the news feed, and he just casually brings it up.
That just happened.
When, 5 minutes ago?
Like this week.
Okay. Today's Thursday. When did it happen? Saturday, right?
Sunday, I think.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I could have made a lower third. I could have made a lower third. I could have put out something. What the chat saying? See,
It's
3
like
days ago.
Monday. So we're covering it the same week.
But I don't have anything. Dude, that's huge. That's a huge story. That it's at its own story. It ain't part of another story. It's its own story. Okay.
Well, he wasn't the only one that got gold.
Well, great. That makes it even a bigger story. Okay, chat. Understand. Chris is retarded. Let's be clear.
Well,
Chris is retarded. So
can I break down how the freestyle season works?
Once again, all that stuff I said in the beginning, forget it. If I could delete it from this podcast, I would. Forget it.
Hold on. Can I explain how the freestyle season works?
Please.
Okay. So what they were wrestling at is called a ranking. It's a ranking series event.
Okay.
So like, based on how many points you get at these ranking series events, determines your seeding for the world championships.
Okay.
But there's no world championship this year because the Olympics are this year.
Okay.
Or are they in 2028? I don't remember. I don't know what year we're in. Yeah, no, the Olympics are in 2028.
28, yeah.
But it's just to get points to get your seeding for world championships. Like it's not like to be fair, like he beat some dude from Kazakhstan, or I think like 12-2 in the finals.
Okay.
But basically like a majority of the RAF roster wrestles in these events.
Okay.
And then I think Buchanan won gold too, if I remember right.
Okay.
But they were like the only two that won gold. Everyone else, there's some silvers, some bronzes in there, but it's not like it's a huge major tournament. Is all I'm saying.
Okay. I get that part, but let me tell you how news works. How you build momentum for a story to get plenty of views. We just came off RAF 5 where DeSantos smokes Tomasello, however you say his name is. Smokes him, right? Already a big story by itself. He got the belt. Then he goes somewhere else, smokes him again, along with everybody else. That's huge for RAF story. Huge. You can't be sitting on this type of knowledge and not understand that that's a story. That's what I mean.
Well, that's why I brought it up on the podcast.
But you made it part of another story. It's its own story, is what I'm saying.
I thought it would have been a bigger story had Tomasello beat him.
But you get it now?
I'm tracking.
Okay, Mama Chris, you see why I look forward to choking your son the first chance I get where he don't get saved again? I am waiting for the chance to choke your son unconscious. Waiting. And you understand why now. If you're still on this podcast, it's kind of late. You might be ready for bed. But if you happen to be up.
My mom does.
Oh, she's still
my mom
on?
doesn't go to bed till late.
Okay.
She don't go to bed. She's a night owl.
Now you hear me tell you why I want to choke your kid on a regular basis. Now times this by 20, and that's your son.
Look, I'm still learning some stuff here, but at least we addressed it.
Yes,
at least
we did.
Addressed it. So it's halfway better than the first time.
Yes, we did. All right, what you got? All right, where we at? What's next? UFC
Should be the
324.
UFC. All of the, yep.
All right, Chris may be able to get a little bit of this back, not a lot, but a little. All right, Chris, let's start out. What do you think about the card overall? The first Paramount card, what do you think about it?
You know, it sucks that the Harrison Nunez fight didn't happen.
Yeah, that was a huge loss for the card. Huge.
So I'm glad it was only $8.99.
Yeah.
Alan Silva was a pretty good fight. I don't know why Silva decided to try and surfboard him at the end. It was a good fight. Like, have a little more respect. But
I don't know either.
The Lewis fight was
garbage.
Lewis needs to retire.
Garbage. Here's how bad that was. The Lewis fight. So I did a podcast on the card because I want to talk about Gaethje and Pimblett, right? Somebody hit me up in the chat and goes, I was watching the fight just so I could hear what he says at the end of the fight interview. He was more valued for his antics than his fighting. If that ain't the epitome of you got to retire, I don't know what is. Nobody says, okay, he has an accolade that nobody has. He has knocked out more people in the UFC than anybody. He has that. But everybody wants his antics more than they want his fighting. That's what you don't want.
Well, the reason they do is because the heavyweight division's absolute dog shit. UFC.
It's ass. I agree.
The heavyweight division is the worst division in UFC. There is no division even close to being as bad as heavyweight division.
I agree. I agree.
So that's part of it. That's part of it. Someone's got to be entertaining because none of the fights are, and none of the fighters are good. So at least be entertaining on the microphone, for God's sake.
From that standpoint, you are correct. But do you know what a disgrace it is that heavyweights across the board has fallen to this level? Remember, everybody tuned in to the heavyweights when it came to fighting, primarily boxing. Heavyweights ran the world back in the day.
Boxing is the same way, though. Heavyweight boxing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But we tuned in for the heavyweights. Now you can't find a good heavyweight fight across the board.
No, everybody's watching middleweights nowadays.
Yep.
Now, the Rose fight, not a good fight, to be fair, but I still feel like Rose won that fight. I think she got robbed.
Everybody says Rose won. See, you ain't the only one. Everybody says it. And it's one of those.
That was a real-time reaction for me. When I saw the other chicks can't get raised, I was like, not a chance.
It's one of those scenarios that we're going to talk about O'Malley and Yadong as well for almost the same thing. Rose is popular, but it seems like she's on her way out. When it goes to the judges, they're going to pick the next one that they think they're going to be able to capitalize on. And that's why it went that way, even though everybody else said Rose won.
You know, but see, that's why I like wrestling. There's a score.
Yeah.
It's a scoring system. You know what the scoring system is. At the end of the day, there's a final score. You know who won. There's not this. I hate 10-9 scoring to begin with. I think it's absolute bullshit. I think 10-9 scoring systems are absolute dog shit to begin with.
Well,
MMA has no business.
I have to push back on you, Chris. I'm sorry. I know you.
It's not an accurate scoring system.
Okay. I hear what you're saying, and that sounds good. But when you got somebody who just won by criteria, how can you say scoring is good?
I'm just saying, at least even the criteria, which on this podcast, everyone knows I fucking hate criteria. It only exists because non-American wrestlers will consistently lose to American wrestlers if overtime's a thing because Americans are in better shape. That's why criteria exists. We all know that's why criteria exists, and I hate it.
But when you can use criteria to win a match that's still falling in the same system or letting it go to the judges, almost the same thing.
No, at least criteria is defined, and everyone knows what the criteria is, and there's a pecking order for the criteria. There's still no judge. There's an objective. This is criteria 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to determine the winner.
Okay.
So even with criteria, it is still based on the actions of the wrestlers and what happened on the mat. not some random dude with an opinion who somehow became a judge. Boxing has the same problem. Judges are absolute dog shit.
Oh no, I agree. I agree, 100%. But I'm saying there's no absolute system. There's no absolute system. They all have their flaws. Now, unfortunately, the 10-9 system has been used across the board in with multiple promotions. That's why it's shining so bright because it crosses too many promotions.
I get it. I just don't like it.
Yeah,
That's all
I
I'm
agree.
saying.
No, I'm
I
with
get
you.
it.
Look, no, I'm with you. You can never get a clear winner. Just like, hey, fight fans, I gotta say it. I don't want to say it. I got a but in there too, but I'll have to say it because of the conversation. Me and Chris had a conversation. He said O'Malley will win. I said Yadong. That bitch won. So O'Malley won. I gotta say it live because I said I would. Chris called it. I didn't. But we'll get into that in a minute. So Chris gets me to say shit live, and I don't want to say it. So there's that. So go ahead.
And I know it hurts because you're the MMA guy, and every now and then I get some MMA stuff right, and it drives you crazy. I know.
No, it really hurts. It hurts bad. I don't want to say it
But
at all. So good job.
to be fair, the actual fight was okay. It had some entertaining moments, but it went to the judge, and honestly, like I get it. You could have picked either one to win that fight based on the judges, but they picked O'Malley.
Yeah, but see, that's the same thing. Here's what makes it worse. So now I'm glad we're talking about it. Right? Everybody is saying the same thing that Yadong won. So you get almost as much people saying Yadong won as O'Malley won, right? Here's the difference. O'Malley is supposed to be this bigger than life killer of men, right? That deserves the Peter Yan fight next. He's supposed to be the next guy. He's not. It got so bad that he had to go tell Dana White, I won that match, right? Anybody who knows they won is not trying to hedge their bets by telling the owner of the company, yeah, I won that fight, right? You know what I'm saying? So that went over the airs as well. Nobody thought he won like he thinks he won, and nobody even cares for him to have the Peter Yan fight at all.
To be perfectly honest with you, Uman should get the fight against Yan. The Nurmagomedov last prelim fight was a better fight than O'Malley Yadong, and I think he's better than both of them.
Yeah, I agree. So like I said, you see the problems we are in. We are in legit problems when it comes to how this stuff plays out.
Because UFC doesn't fucking pay attention to their rankings at all. They just do what they fucking feel like.
Well,
like why have rankings if they don't matter?
Well, right now, the same thing can be said about the RAF. They're not following their rankings either. They're just making the matches that make sense. Or that they want to see. I can't even say make sense that they want to see. Go ahead.
If RAF was where UFC is right now, RAF, because it's wrestling, its rankings will be followed much closer than UFC is right now. If UFC was what UFC is doing is what RAF is doing because they have to grow the promotion.
Yeah, no, I get it. No, I get why they do it, but that still says the question about what a promotion is. Like me and you got in that when they first came out, we got in the argument. You, Jeff, his little ass was talking about the purity of wrestling versus entertainment and a promotion. And I said back at one, it's a promotion first. It's not wrestling first. It's a promotion first. So once you understand that, they got to make it sell before they can make it about a particular sport.
Right. And that's what I like about do a great job of balancing the matches that wrestling fans want to see and the matches that non-wrestling fans want to see. So I like what rap is doing, and that's why they're doing it the way they're doing it. To your point,
No, yeah, they got it right.
they have
They
got to find that balance.
they wrote the book on the right way to do wrestling for those who think wrestling can stand on its own. It can stand on its own as a sport, but as entertainment, it's not necessarily that. No one says I'm entertained by sports, by wrestling. They say I like the sport of wrestling. They don't look at it as an entertainment of shock value and awe like they do with MMA, boxing, and all the other sports.
Can you chat for about 2 to 3 minutes? I got to pee real bad.
I guess he was drinking beer. I sure can. I get the shit on
Yeah.
Chris in private. Let's go. Hurry up.
Yeah. Give the chat some shit. I'll be right back.
I'm getting ready to. All right, chat. Chris had to run because he has a bladder of a 3-year-old. But anyway, UFC 324 was great. The reason why it was great is because they delivered the right fights at the right time. When we get into Justin Gaethje and Pimblant, that was the right fight at the right time. For all of you who don't know, okay, who was expecting Patty to win? Let's go there in the chat. Who was expecting Patty to win? Who had Patty the Batty beating Justin Gaethje? Because once again, Justin Gaethje is 37. So a lot of people, including the betting odds, was not looking at freaking Justin Gaethje to beat Patty the Batty. Y'all know that, right? Y'all know that, right? They were up. See a 3-year-old bladder. See how fast that was?
Dude, it took me 5 beers before I had to pee. All right, I was doing all right.
Yeah, he was doing good. All right, so getting back what we were saying about Sean O'Malley, right? He actually thought he was going to be bigger than Conor McGregor, and he actually said it. He actually said, I thought I was going to be bigger than Conor McGregor by this point, right? And I'm like, mother effer, how? This is because you got colored hair? Just because you have a Conor McGregor tattoo on your chest? Where?
Got the same tattoo.
Yeah, where did you think you were going to be big as Conor McGregor? I don't get it. You didn't fight the caliber of fighters Conor McGregor fought. You didn't go after the caliber of fighters Conor McGregor fought. I've never seen a man talk so much shit when death was on the line like Conor McGregor. He knew what was going to happen fighting Khabib and what he was saying, and he did it anyway. I can give him all the credit for that alone, right? They had a podcast with freaking Herb Dean and God dang it, my mind went blank. I can't think of the other. He was a commentator for the UFC, right? His name slips my mind, right? He asked Herb Dean, was Conor McGregor in a life-threatening situation with that choke? Herb Dean says yes. He said Khabib did not want to let go of the choke. Did not want to let go. That means he was planning on hurting freaking Conor McGregor. Oh, baby, talk about the eye pokes. Hey, it wouldn't have made a difference. The eye pokes wouldn't have made a difference, but we'll get to it in a minute. But
at least Patty kept fighting.
Yeah, he did. He didn't make an excuse until after. He made a whole bunch of excuses after the fight, but he didn't make it while he was fighting.
I don't even think he made that many excuses after the fight.
Yeah, he did. He did a lot of trouble for what he was saying about. He said the refs were favoring, freaking not Aljamain. I'm gonna say Aljamain Sterling. He was favoring freaking Justin Gaethje over him because of the eye pokes and the stuff like that. So he actually said it. He actually said it in an interview statement.
I actually think the second one was worse than the first one.
It was.
I think the second one actually affected the fight.
Well, it affected that round. I'm not gonna say it affected the fight because he was dog walking him up to that point.
Well, I'm saying it affected that round because it put him on the ground.
Oh yeah, it definitely affected that round because after the poke, he turned his head and caught that right. It was yeah. So that round, if you could have had made a plea for that round, yes, right. If he could says
Well,
in
I mean,
that round the judges favored Justin Gaethje over me because he let the fight go, he didn't stop it. Like I can see it, especially when they had instant replay where they paused the actual eye poke to us so we can see it. They paused it so we can see what happened. That means the refs can see it too, right?
well, here's the thing, right? To be fair, that round was the second round.
Was
and
it?
Patty clearly, yeah. The second eye poke was in the second round.
Well, but he got dog walking the first.
I get that, but Patty won the third round clearly.
Yeah.
Right?
So
if that eye poke doesn't have. So what I'm saying is, if they take that point away from the eye poke in the second round, and that's only and that's now a 9-9 round instead of a 10-9 round.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Patty wins the third. Right. You
Yeah.
go into the fourth round, if Gaethje wins. Okay, it's 2 rounds to 1 with a 1-round tie. You're talking about that's completely there's completely different circumstances in that fifth round at that point.
It only comes down to if they give him, depending on what round they give him, because a knockdown, as many times he got knocked down by a strike, it puts Gaethje up when it comes down to damage. So
You know what's crazy though?
what's up?
They didn't give Gaethje a single 10-8 round. They did not give him credit for a single knockdown this morning.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point.
He didn't get
Well,
any 10-8 round.
and that shows why. That's why I gave Patty such high remarks on how well he was fighting, because he was doing his share of damage. He just couldn't change the direction of the fight with that damage, which is why because he was landing shots, he was landing body shots, he was accurate in his strikes, but he couldn't change the direction of Gaethje. And that's the same thing I was saying about why everybody was saying O'Malley lost, because Yadong changed the direction in which Sean O'Malley had to fight because what he was doing to O'Malley. That's what I mean by what they see when it comes to damage. If you make a fighter change his direction, that means you're doing damage.
If Patty fights that fight,
He said fake news.
with his style and gets that, like, he should have been trying to get that fight to the ground after round 1, but he decided that he was going to stand there and throw hands the entire 5 rounds, which from a strategic standpoint makes no sense. Patty doesn't have power.
There was nowhere Patty was going to beat Justin. Nowhere. We underestimate how good of a grappler Justin is because he likes to bang. But no one says Gaethje has inferior grappling. He has superior grappling. The only one that was able to out-grapple him was Khabib. That's it. He has superior grappling. He just don't use it. So that may not have been a winning strategy for freaking Patty.
Well, I mean, what I was saying is it's Patty's, and he should have been, like, the wrestlers have the same problem. Sometimes they game plan for another wrestler, another fighter so much that they don't do what their strengths are. They're too worried about countering the other guy's stuff instead of just wrestling or fighting what they do. Right? I'm not saying Gaethje doesn't have good grappling. I'm saying grappling is what Patty does.
Yeah,
and he went away from it.
No, I get it.
That's what I'm saying.
But here's the whole point of why, and Gaethje said it, here's the whole point of why he lost. Everybody was on Patty's side. Dana, the UFC, right? Everybody wanted Patty to win. You forget before Il Laporia was taken down by his wife, it was supposed to be Patty versus Il, not Gaethje, right? Not Gaethje. So Gaethje wasn't
which
even the
makes sense.
conversation.
I mean, let's be fair. If Taporia was still there, he would beat the fuck out of both these guys. So it doesn't really matter.
But that's the fight we want to see. We want to see how they, because we automatically assume Il's gonna knock out everybody. That's the going story. But what makes a great fight is somebody who can figure out a way to not let that happen. That's what we want to see. So who would have been a guy? Would it have been Patty, or would it have been Gaethje? Right? Now Gaethje dog walks Patty, which means now Patty wouldn't have been nowhere even in the conversation against Il Laporia now, because nobody is thinking Gaethje can do shit against Il Laporia, and he dog walked Patty. That's even worse.
Well, here's my thing, right? This is still for the interim belt. So if Taporia vacated his belt, why is this an interim fight?
Did he vacate his belt? I thought it was a unifying fight, which means he had his belt.
No, Taporia vacated his belts, then they made this an interim title fight.
Well, yeah,
why make it an interim title fight?
They made it an interim fight because he stepped away, but they didn't say he vacated his belt. I didn't hear that. Where'd you hear that at?
He vacated both his belts. That's why this is an interim title fight. He vacated both his belts.
It can't be. Okay, it's an interim fight, so that means when they go for that fight at the White House, who is the title holder?
Well, right now it's Gaethje.
If it's a title fight, then it can't be an interim fight. He has to be. Remember when Alexander Volkanovski? Remember when Alexander Volkanovski got the belt back against the guy he's gonna fight Saturday?
Yeah.
Because they vacated the belt. The belt was up for grabs. Why wasn't it called the interim belt back then? Because no, the belt was up for grabs for either one of those guys to win. This would have been the same thing if freaking Taporia had vacated the belt. He couldn't have. Then it wouldn't have been for the belt. It wouldn't have been an interim belt.
That's why I'm confused, because Taporia vacated both his belts.
He couldn't have. There was no way. There's no way. He didn't. He couldn't have vacated the belt if this is an interim belt. That means he still has the belt. They have to unify the belt at the White House.
Well, then it better be Gaethje versus Taporia at the White House then.
Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. I thought it was.
Who knows? Divorce is messy. We'll see what happens.
To be taken down, the baddest man. The only reason I haven't done a meme about that yet is because I'm a man. If I was just a clickbait junkie, I would have already made a meme about the baddest man in the world. It'd have been him in a picture of his wife, and she's holding the belt. That would have been my meme.
I'm not one to kick a man when he's down. You know what I'm saying?
Unfortunately, when you're a fighter, that's not supposed to be the thing that stops you, but apparently that's the thing that stops you. Cause look at it this way.
The most powerful men in the world generally get taken down by a woman. That's how it works.
Yeah, but look at it this way. So now you got to question his fortitude. Look at Conor McGregor. All those allegations, still shows up in fights. Look at John Jones. All those allegations, still shows up in fights. And they were both in problems with their missuses. Still shows up in fights. He goes through a little situation. Now he can't fight. He backed out of everything at the top of his game. Do you know how bad that is? You thinking he vacated both his belts? That's a no-no with Dana White. A no-no.
Well, you know what? Maybe, you know what? He's worried about, personally, like, look, he's got kids. And, I'd be focusing too on how I can figure out how to get the most favorable custody for my children out of all this, to be honest.
Shoot.
I get it.
No, I get it. Look at freaking Izzy. That girlfriend tried to take half his wealth. He had to take a step back, right? But he didn't have the belt then. It didn't matter, right? He came back and fought. Freaking Il Dapore had what? 2 belts or one? 1 belt, right?
I thought he had 2.
I thought he had 2 too. He gave up both his belts. Do you know how much money? Now, maybe I get it. He said, "Look, I got to get rid of this. I got to get rid of this money."
My mom is definitely still in the chat.
Oh, mom's still in the chat. Hey, mommy, what's up?
I mean, I made that one comment about women taking down strong men, and I get a really again. That's that sarcastic, really, Chris. I already know what she's. I already know how she's saying it. Really,
mommy, this is the fight business. It's different. It's different. It's different. Hey, I want some spaghetti, Mom. You make good spaghetti. I want some.
She does make some good spaghetti. That's a fact.
Hey,
That's
well, at least, hey, Mom, were you causing the smoke detector to go off like in Chris's house? I like to know that too.
Now her house is old. I don't even know if she has smoke detectors at work. To be fair. She said no. She said no. She doesn't.
But yeah, so
yes,
it's not looking good. Yeah, it's not. Here's the thing. Not nobody. Dana White didn't even want Justin Gaethje because he was talking about fighter pay and all that kind of stuff. Dana White was trying to get rid of Justin Gaethje. Then he puts on the fight of the century against the guy Dana White wanted. Justin Gaethje is untouchable right now because Topuria vacated both his belts. The one who has the belt is Justin Gaethje. Do you know how mad Dana White is right now?
Well, now I think that's the thing we overlooked in all of this so far that we haven't hit on.
What's that?
The fight was absolutely spectacular.
Yeah.
That fight was amazing.
Yeah.
I was thoroughly what I was impressed by was the way Patty got wrecked for 2 rounds and somehow mustered the ability to win that 3rd round the way he did and turn it into an actual fight he could possibly have won if a couple of things went his way.
Yep.
That fight was phenomenal, and I actually gained a lot of respect for Patty because he took that ass whooping. He took all those blows from Gaethje and kept standing there in front of them and giving them back. And I was like, the significant strikes difference wasn't that much.
Yeah, no.
They both landed a ton of significant strikes.
Yep, I even said that.
Great fight.
I even said that. I said, okay, I gotta back off Pat. No, I can't because Patty's still a prick. But I said he was probably in the best fight shape I've ever seen in my life to be able to take damage, get knocked down, get rocked, and still be able to stay in the fight and throwing back quality shots to stop that will be able to back off most fighters. I said he would have been able to have beaten the majority of the fighters that he would have went up against outside of the top 3. With the way he fought and came back.
He would have knocked out most of the guys he would have fought with those punches.
Yep.
He would have knocked out most guys not named Justin Gaethje.
Yep. Now I'll agree. Everybody was saying all your high level fighters who understand the fight game were all saying the same thing. He said it was the most entertaining fight of the century. It was some of the ugliest striking ever seen in history by how they were going at it. He said a sharp fighter like Il Dapore would dismantle both of them, and I agree. But
I do too.
But chaos is its own fighting style as well, right? If you look at freaking Nate Diaz, he has some of the ugliest styles in the history of styles, but his chaos fighting wears opponents down and they end up getting knocked out by him because of his chaos fighting style. Justin Gaethje
Especially,
has a chaos fighting style. It's wild as hell, and he usually wins most of the time until he gets an accurate fighter like a Max who was able to knock him out because Max was delivering more sharper strikes. You know what I'm saying?
especially when you can take most hits from the majority of the people you fight, you can allow your chaos to have time to work.
Yeah,
Like chaos fighting doesn't work if your chin's made of glass. You know what I mean?
exactly. And that's what made Patty. That's why I see why Dana White wanted Patty Pimblett to be the guy. Because here's the thing. Are we saying Patty Pimblett is a great fighter? No. He's right there like a Sean O'Malley of fighting. He ain't fighting the best guys. Right? He's not. I mean, what? Freaking Michael Chandler? Really? Is your only accolade that you can hold something on? Right? Mo Green is not there. Right? Some of the guys who got names, they still aren't the guy at the top of the heap. Michael Chandler ain't the guy.
I will say though that Patty, it's not Patty's fault though, because Patty's been asking for the big guys.
No, you got to earn the big guys. They don't give a damn what you ask for.
I get that, but what I'm saying is Patty at least isn't shying away from saying, "Give me, like, put these guys in front of me, and I will fight them."
And
it's different.
And unfortunately,
it's different than like O'Malley.
Unfortunately,
O'Malley,
how the MMA gods work, right? They gave him Il Taporia, right? Il Taporia had to back away. They gave him a consolation prize in Justin Gaethje, and Justin Gaethje dog walked him. So they're saying, the rest of the world is saying, why would we have given him Il Taporia if he couldn't even get past Justin Gaethje? That's the story now.
Well, to be fair though, are we going to pretend that Justin Gaethje would get past Taporia? I mean, who's getting past Taporia if he's in his prime? Nobody.
Justin Gaethje has fought all the who's. Patty Pimblett hasn't. Patty Pimblett hasn't.
Yeah, but okay, every big fight Gaethje's been in,
who do you think deserves? Who do you think out of these two, who deserves Il Taporia? Out of these two.
Well, Gaethje now.
Before this matchup, who would you have wanted to have seen fight Il Taporia? Patty or Gaethje?
Well, I would have said Gaethje because they had Gaethje as number one contender.
No, see, yeah, number one contender. But based off their fight histories, who deserves it more?
I still would have said Gaethje.
Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point of what a ranking is supposed to be like. You can only fight the guys after you beat the guys, right? Freaking Pat Pimblett is under Gaethje in the rankings. So how does he leapfrog Gaethje to get Il Taporia?
Well, that's been my point since day one, though, right? Like, if the UFC doesn't care about the rankings, then who cares where the guys rank?
Yeah, but unfortunately, you got to win.
I'm not saying that as my personal opinion. I'm just saying that, like, from what I'm seeing, right? I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying that's what's happening, and it's bullshit.
Well, shit. Look at Michael Chandler. Do you know how popular you have to be to lose 5 of your last 6 and still get top billing? He almost had Conor McGregor as a fight at the freaking White House. Imagine that.
I do understand, and I get it. I get it. There's a money factor. I get it, but like, I'm not going out there and putting my body on the line for and to know that, oh, if I don't talk a good game, I'm not going to get what I deserve. Like, fuck that.
Well, this was Patty the Baddy's come out party. He was supposed to have beat Justin Gaethje. That's what everybody was saying. He was supposed to have beaten Justin Gaethje based off popularity, right? What kind of star he would have been to go up against Il Taporia, what kind of money they were looking to make. Once again, it's all business. That's why RAF does what it does when it comes to MMA fighters. freaking star power and momentum matters. A name is a
Now,
name. Just like Dake, how we said with Dake, right? How Dake let Covington steal the show, even though Dake is supposed to be the face of Wrath. When nobody's asking you any questions at a press conference, you have to wonder what the hell you are doing if you're the champion and you're Dake and no one wants to ask you questions because Kobe Covington is there. That's a problem.
well, now also to be fair, I would move Pimblett. I would move Patty up in the rankings after this loss. To be honest.
Well, you can. It's easy to do because nobody cares about the rankings.
Well, I'm just saying, like, even if the rankings actually mattered, this was a side of Patty none of us have seen before. And he could, if Gaethje's number one contender and he can hang with him, like, honestly, 2 through 4, I can't even tell you who they are right now at lightweight.
Okay, hold on. What weight class is Anakov? Our guy who's over at RAF now. What's his last name?
I don't know. There's a lot of wrestlers over there now.
Well, we'll bring it back up in the next conversation, huh?
Makayev?
No, he the one who missed weight, and now they're not giving him no fights anymore. He's over there in RAF fighting now.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
God dang it! It's gonna be in the next. Hold on. Trelukyan. Tsarukyan.
Oh, Arman?
Yeah, God
Arman?
dog. Yeah, him. What's his weight? I thought he was in the. I thought he was supposed to be.
Arman should still be wrestling.
Was that?
He should still be fighting?
Yeah.
He should.
Yeah.
Just move up a weight and figure it out, bro.
But isn't he supposed to be fighting Il Taporia because he missed weight? That's why he's not getting these spots anymore.
I think that's true.
Yeah. See? Well, speaking of that, guys, let's go ahead and have that conversation. Right? REF6 is extremely MMA fighter heavy.
It's true.
Look how many MMA fighters we got going to compete at RAF6. If you didn't know any better, and you didn't know anything about combat sports, you knew them both, you would think this was an MMA freaking tournament. You would not know it was a wrestling tournament.
I think they did I think it's a little too unbalanced with this one.
It's heavy.
But to be fair, at least Cejudo is an Olympic champion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, at least Cejudo is an Olympic champion.
But
and at least Mendez was a D1 wrestler.
Okay, but now we gotta go. We gotta give them the brilliance first before we nitpick. We gotta give them the brilliance for it first. First of all, they got all these guys, right? Cejudo, huge name. Faber, legend. Mendez, legend. Henderson, legend. Guida, legend. So I get it. I understand. If you don't know anything and somebody says, hey, do you know Henry Cejudo is going to be wrestling Faber at RAF? They go, for real? They're tuning in. Did you know Henderson is fighting Mendez is fighting Henderson at RAF 6? They're tuning in. You know what I'm saying? You can't you're gonna tune in. So I get it.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Now based off
and I get it. I get it that RAF 06 in Arizona, and we all know how West Coast events tend to get they tend to get lesser viewership than East Coast events because time zones, right?
Yeah.
Like if you want to watch, like if RAF 06 is at 7 or 8 p.m. Eastern time, you're talking 4 in the afternoon or 5 in the afternoon in Arizona, right? Like it just doesn't work that great. Now I get why they're doing it there because at least Arizona State's a good wrestling program, and it's a popular wrestling program over there. So the location makes sense to the state they're doing it in.
What is it? Is Arizona a fight town? Because it's look at this MMA heavy for Arizona.
Arizona State is a good Big 12 wrestling program.
Okay.
So as far as like for people who follow the college wrestling program over there, yes, it's a good place to do it because you're doing it on the campus.
Well, here's what I mean. If they would have had this card in Chicago, it'd have broke the internet. Because Chicago is a fight town.
Yeah, but the card they had in Chicago was also
no. I'm saying
better.
it was good, but this being so MMA dominant, right? You would have been two sides equally fighting for tickets, equally across the board.
I think this card makes more sense in Vegas than it does in Arizona.
Yeah, and which I am surprised that it's not in Vegas, but since you got so many pro MMA fighters, I can get why, because that's Dana White's backyard, and maybe this is the closest they can get. Yes, Vegas is Dana White's backyard. It is.
I still find it hard to believe that RAF and UFC aren't working together in the background.
Dana White is.
I mean, I'm saying that because Dana White's letting active UFC fighters wrestle on these cards.
If he didn't care, it'd be in Vegas.
I don't think he cares. I think
he does.
I think Vegas just isn't a big wrestling town.
Say it again.
I just don't think Vegas is a big wrestling town. That's why they're doing it in Arizona, because it's close enough to Vegas that people that want to see these MMA guys will drive the 3 hours to Arizona to watch it.
But they love MMA enough to want to be curious about this. Curiosity would have played a huge factor in Vegas because of this card. And they'd be like, "Oh, okay."
It could also be cost. It could also be cost. The amount of money it would take to rent out something in Vegas might have been too much.
Oh, I know. Hey, no, you're right. I know it's the cost. Vegas, yeah. Because of Dana White and the UFC, it costs to do shit in Vegas. Period. When it comes to MMA and combat fighting. Period.
Well, that and boxing too.
Well.
You know what I mean? Like, Vegas is fight town basically in general.
Yeah, exactly. So we will be in Vegas. Fight fans, your boy Coach D will be in Vegas for our national MMA tournament coming up real soon. So I will keep you up to date that your boy is going to be doing his MMA thing in Vegas this year too. So we're pretty excited. It's going to be pretty dope. All right, that's my little plug in right there.
Hey, do your plugs. That's what it's for. Well, we ready to move on to some NCAA wrestling?
We sure are. Are we good? Let's go ahead and get it. Let me put something on there. That's good. We'll keep that. Go.
It's getting about that time to start digging into NCAA because we're about 3/4 of the way through the season. Conferences will be next month, and then. Next thing you know, we're in March. It's the NCAA tournament, and we're definitely going to talk about the NCAA tournament when the time comes. So there were a lot of good big matches over the last week or so. You had, Iowa versus Nebraska. You had Penn State versus Iowa. Like, you had some big matches. Penn State looks as dominant as they ever have. But we haven't seen them wrestle Ohio State yet, and Ohio State's looked really, really good. And I believe the last time Penn State didn't win a national title was because Ohio State won it.
Well, for what I'm hearing, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say I go by where the news is going. Right at this level of the game, I do tend to go where the news is, and everybody's saying ain't nobody touching Penn State right now. Ain't nobody touching Penn State. That's the
Well, in
TikTok news I'm
duels,
getting.
absolutely. In
Okay.
dual events are two different things, right? Like in duels, Penn State's basically untouchable,
Okay.
right? But same time, we haven't seen Ohio State and Penn State wrestle each other in a duel.
And why is that?
So the schedule just hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
But I think Ohio State's the only team that could give them a run for their money in a duel.
Is that right? Okay. Why Ohio State? Give me some names.
Well, you got Jesse Mendez, who's defending national champion.
Mm-hmm.
I think Feldman at heavyweight can beat Penn State's heavyweight. They got Buzakis at 25, who I think can beat Penn State's 25.
Okay.
So, like, I think Ohio State could legitimately win 4 matches and compete in a 5th or a 6th one where it's close. Like, it could be a close match.
Okay.
And then when you get to NCAAs, right? Like, now it's about who can beat the most people from other teams, right? Like, sure, maybe the Penn State guy can beat somebody, but he runs into somebody who can beat him first, and then the guy he could beats the guy that beat him. So now you score more points at NCAAs than Penn State did in that weight class.
Okay.
That's the difference between tournaments and schools.
Okay, you said a lot. So let's back up a little bit. Walk people through what's duels compared to other wrestling tournaments.
So duels is just like 2 teams wrestling. So it's just
Okay.
Penn State and Ohio State wrestling. So it's just one-on-one, right?
Okay.
But in the NCAA tournament, you got 33 guys in the weight class. So like let's say this Penn State guy at 141 beats the Ohio State guy at 141 in a duel.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe this 141 from Penn State loses to the guy that's 141 from Oklahoma State in the tournament. And then the Ohio State guy ends up wrestling the Oklahoma State guy in the national championship finals.
Mm.
So now the team scores are completely different than the duel was.
Okay. I get you.
So that's where tournament scoring is much different. So it's like you can't base who's going to win a national championship off of duels because there's 33 other guys that could fuck all that shit up.
I got you.
Right? And then what I don't understand is you got Iowa ranked 4th and you got Oklahoma State ranked 5th. Well, Oklahoma State's got Jax Forrest now in the weight at 133. And they could redshirt him, but I think he can beat both the 33-pounders, so why would you? Because if you add him to the weight class, now you're talking about you got 5 freshmen that could possibly be in like Oklahoma State legitimately has 4 or 5 freshmen that can make the NCAA finals.
Okay, so let me ask you this. So when you talk about rankings, do you rank them based off duels or how each wrestler is doing throughout the year as a team that gives you the rankings? How is the rankings mapped out?
So I think the coaches pull goals off dual rankings. But even in a dual ranking, I think at this point Oklahoma State would beat Iowa, and they would beat them pretty easily, to be honest.
Okay.
So like Oklahoma State's going to be dangerous, dude. They're so young. Half their team is like I think they have like 7 freshmen. They got like 2 redshirt freshmen and like 4 true freshmen. Like it's crazy how young Oklahoma State is, and those freshmen are just blowing through people.
So you can say that redshirting? Is that what that is?
Yeah, they got a couple of freshmen that were red shirts last year, so they're technically sophomores, but they still eligibility wise are freshmen.
Okay. I was trying to get to when you said freshman. I was figuring out how you meant. Okay, go ahead.
But they got like 3 or 4 true freshmen, a couple redshirt freshmen. Like that's like 7 dudes with like 4 years of eligibility still left that are really good. Like Oklahoma State, I can see Oklahoma State winning a national championship in the next 3 years. I think they at some point in the next 3 years will unseat Penn State.
So how big of a? I mean, to throw you off. How big of a thing is everybody holding back athletes so that they have a longer wrestling season, like they said they did with Bo Bassett? How true is that?
At the college level or the high school level?
Either or. I'm going off this. How does that fly? If at all, I could be wrong. If
I
at
mean,
all.
at the college level, sometimes you strategically redshirt guys so that you can have so you can maximize your lineup down the road.
Okay.
And in high school, there's holdbacks everywhere. There's people holding people back in 8th grade all over the place. And I hate it.
Okay. So what matters the most about duels? Why is duels so important? Is it what does the duels prepare you for after duels?
I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, duels are more for the fan experience because they don't really matter anymore.
So it's just bragging rights.
I mean, kinda, because the NCAA doesn't award a duels like a team national championship for a dual team. They only give you a national championship off the results of the individual tournament. So the NCAA only awards a tournament team champ. They don't award a dual team champ.
So you have dual rankings and then you have other rankings, correct? Or
You have
does
tournament
duels?
rankings. Yeah.
So you got more than one ranking
You have
system when it comes to wrestling.
yeah, you got a tournament ranking too, like a tournament team ranking as well.
Okay. So how do you figure out who's the best wrestler? Where does the best wrestler come in at? Does duels even matter towards anything else?
They have individual team rankings too. Well, yeah, like if you beat a dude in a duel, it's going to affect the individual ranking.
Okay. There you go. That's what I was getting at.
Right? I'm just saying duels are more for like the fan experience. Like you're there to watch your team wrestle another team, the gym's packed, and it's just like that team aspect of it. But you're not winning a conference title off of duels. You're not winning a national championship off of duels. Like the only thing that matters in college.
So if
At the end of the day,
if duels went away, who gets affected?
The fans.
That's it. So
Yeah.
so it's just for the love of the sport that duels exist.
Yeah, I mean it's just for the fan experience really at this point because they don't have any like the only thing duels do is they impact like okay you beat this guy so you get seated higher at the conference individual tournament or you beat this guy so you get ranked higher you get a higher seed at NCAAs, you know what I mean, like the individual results still matter in the grand scheme of things.
Okay.
But as far as like what your team wins or loses, it's kind of irrelevant to be honest.
Okay.
It's really just for saying we beat you.
So where does the duels fall in the wrestling season?
Throughout the whole season.
So okay, so they're not missing anything to do duels. It's just part of the season. They're still doing everything else.
Yeah, it's on the schedule. So like if you're not wrestling a duel that weekend, then you're probably at an individual tournament that weekend and vice versa.
Okay, I got you now.
High school does the same thing.
Yeah.
Like we have duels during the week. So like high school is a little different because like we'll do a duel meet on Wednesday, and then the kids will be wrestling in an individual tournament on Saturday.
Okay. So everybody who was in the chat that wanted to talk about it, this is because they love wrestling. It was going nowhere before that.
Well, people like talking about like for example, Nebraska. Nebraska has like 7 returning All-Americans, and I don't think there's a team that's underperformed more this entire season in both duels and individual results than the University of Nebraska.
Okay.
Like, like as much as I like to give Tom Brand shit, and I think Tom Brand should absolutely be fired at the end of the year at Iowa, and that Iowa should go to a new direction. I think the Iowa program is shitting the bed hard.
Okay. So okay, well,
You gotta ask. We have to ask what is the coaching job that Manning's doing at Nebraska right now?
okay. So
Like,
what makes
with that
okay
thing,
outside of winning, losing, what makes a program shitty? Or is that the main
well,
criteria, winning and losing?
Nebraska has a returning national champion
Okay.
who hasn't looked like he's progressed at all this year.
Okay.
They have 7 returning All-Americans who don't look like they're gonna All-American the way they've been wrestling all season.
Okay.
It's just like it's like you have all these guys. Like I expected Nebraska to be one of the best teams in the country this year.
So basically, what you're saying, they have the talent. It's just the system is not producing the talent to win.
They're just not. They're just underperforming across the board.
Okay, I got you. Okay, I got you
So
now.
for all the shitting on brands I want to do, like Mark Manning's not like last year. Mark Manning did a fantastic job because a lot of these guys all American. You're like probably shouldn't have. So just these dudes who had a great NCAA tournament going back down to their baseline where they're just average wrestlers.
Okay.
They just happen to have a great tournament last year. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't see the progression from these guys that you should see at the Division I level, which is also kind of weird because Jordan Burroughs is on that coaching staff. James Green is on that coaching staff. Like, I would expect these guys to be better and progressed.
Okay. So when do they evaluate coaches? Like you said, this coach should be fired. When do you go? Okay, there's no redeeming this. Isn't there a growing period? Say you got a new coach or a new team. Isn't there a growing period to get the team jiving? How much time do you give them before you go? Okay, this coach got to go.
Well, Manning's been at Nebraska for years,
Okay.
and Brands has been at Iowa for years. So this isn't like this is not like a David Taylor situation where it's like his second or third year at Oklahoma State and he's just getting his recruits and he's just getting everything figured out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying fire Manning because it's Nebraska, right? It's not Nebraska is not Iowa. Let's be honest with ourselves.
Okay. You
You know what I
still
mean?
expect them to win, don't you?
I expect them to win this year with the roster they have, yes, and they're
Okay.
not. But what I'm saying is, Nebraska wrestling doesn't get the scrutiny that an Iowa wrestling gets.
Okay, I got you.
And Iowa got the doors blown off them by Penn State. They got absolutely blown out of the gym by Penn State. It was like 33-3 or something like that. They got killed. They won one match
Okay.
out of 10. Like at Iowa, even if Penn State's good, if you're the head coach of Iowa, you can't go to any duel and win one fucking match. That's not acceptable. That's below the standards required of being an Iowa coach.
Okay. So
Now, I think Nebraska won more matches against Penn State than Iowa did. If I remember right.
So do you recruit every year or each time? Say 5 people graduate from college. Do you looking for 5 new recruits? Right? Is that how it works? Or are you always
Not
recruiting?
necessarily. You recruit every year, but some years you might get 3 guys. The next year you might get 5 guys. The next
Okay.
year you might get. You're not just recruiting for numbers; you're recruiting for specific weight classes too, right?
Okay.
So you might have enough guys in a certain weight class that when your guy graduates, you got 2 or 3 sitting behind him. So you're not recruiting that weight class. You're going to recruit a different weight class.
All right, so you could. Well, how many wrestlers can you have in individual weight class? Because they all got to wrestle, right?
You don't all have to.
So they just sit on the team, riding the bench,
Yeah,
like
some
Chris,
are.
like Chris Fleeger does.
Well, think about it. There's 30 guys on a roster now.
Okay.
There's only 10 spots.
Oh. Oh.
So
How did I
what they'll
not know
do
that?
is like
Okay.
like individual tournaments, they might put 2 guys in per weight class, or
Okay.
they'll send the starters to one individual tournament, back up to another one,
I got you.
and then they'll send their third string to go wrestle at an open tournament unattached, so they can wrestle all the matches they want, and it doesn't count against the red shirt. So they get all the guys. They get most of the guys' matches. It's just that there's only 10 of them on varsity. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So that's kind of how they do it.
Okay.
So in theory, you would have 3 guys every weight class.
Okay, I got you now. I got you now. All right, Chris, what else you got, man? Because we got to wrap this up. We almost at the 3-hour mark.
I think that's it.
All
I
right.
think that's good for the day.
Fight fans, we have covered a ton of stuff. I realize Chris's mom be giving him the business and is prepared to go live with it. I like that. A lot.
I do not. I do not at all.
A lot. I thought I was going to have to mind my P's and Q's. Apparently, Mama Chris can give 2 F's. So I like, all right.
My mom's Sicilian, dude. You don't have to worry about nothing.
Yeah. I wasn't planning on coming to Indiana for absolutely nothing, but I may come out for her. I may have to make a special trip for her now because we need to do a deep dive and how much of a piece of shit Chris is. I'm down for that.
Hey, she'll feed you good.
That's really what I'm looking for. Sitting on you is a consolation prize.
Between her and my wife, you'll get fed good.
We did a good job today. We really have gotten this down pat. I'm pretty happy with the direction we are going with the podcast. We seem to be able to rattle it off with next to no effort. The chat is staying with us. To the majority of, they're staying with us. We like that. We're doing 2.5 to 3 hour podcasts with no problem. That's Joe Rogan level. So we're on it. We're on it, people. We got the system that can get it done. We're the content to get it done, the delivery to get it done. We're actually doing pretty daggone good, right? So I see big things for us, right? I have to say, as a good co-host, Chris is right on point with me. This dynamic seems to work. I have no idea how it works. It makes absolutely no fucking sense, but it's actually a pretty good team. I can't even front, man. We're doing the daggone thing. Chris, what you got?
That's it, guys. Hey, make sure if you're not following us or subscribing on our channels yet, make sure you do so because that'll help us out a bunch.
Yep.
Help us get in the algorithm, get more people to see us, see our videos, see our takes. So, hey, if this is your first time watching, hey, man, share the links to everybody. We're here. Help us grow so what we're talking about gets out to more and more people so that we can make a bigger impact to the wrestling community, the fight community, and everybody else. Like, help us grow. Word of mouth is how podcasts grow. So it's like a small business model.
And let us know where you want to hang out at because we have a Kick Deepwater Podcast channel. We have a YouTube Deepwater Podcast channel. And now we have a Facebook Deepwater Podcast channel. So we have 3 different podcast channels, right? We're getting the kinks worked out because I want to go live in all 3. But like I said, we had a ton of buffering today. Right now, we're fine. So I don't even have a clue what that was. But once we figure that out and we nail it down, then you will see us go live on all 3. So I just upload to YouTube right now. So it is what it is. All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up and get up out of here. Till you hear from us again. Peace out.
Later, everybody. Finish.